Sports Network is on the air.
He's going to keep the football. Drive for the goal line. What's the call? It's a touchdown! The Wolverines have won it on the final play of the game. Touchdown East. A Wolverine walk-off winner.
Ostrowski, the righty, winds and deals. Strike three! It's a perfect game! Tate Ostrowski has thrown a perfect game for the Wolverines!
Piper back to throw. Has time. Looking for the end zone, and what is it called? Touchdown! It is a touchdown for the Wolverines with 7 seconds to play.
Rose City has won the President's Athletic Conference Championship. Rose City wins the PAC. The Cinderella story is alive.
Piper takes the snap. Looking to throw. Fires downfield. Frazier made the catch and scored the touchdown to win it for the Wolverines.
This afternoon on the Wolverines Sports Network, the Grove City College football team brings down the curtain on the 2025 regular season as the Wolverines travel to President's Athletic Conference newcomer Hiram in the regular season finale. But first, it's time once again for the Andrew DiDonato Show, brought to you by Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash in Grove City. Hi, everybody. Ryan Briggs here, along with Grove City College head football coach Andrew DiDonato. Coach, as always, thank you for joining us.
Great to be back with you. Hard to believe last regular season already, Briggsy.
It has flown by, certainly the 10th game of the season today. Last week was week number 10, and Coach, it may not have been a perfect 10, but it was a great win on the road at Case Western Reserve, 28-14. The Wolverines able to get the win in Cleveland against a very good team and a very tough place to play. Obviously, had to feel good coming home from Cleveland.
Oh, we did. Obviously Case is such a great team, and, myself, another one of the coaches, just talked about, they're a hard team to beat. And when we were first building this thing, I mean, they're one of the teams that we targeted as far as, hey, that's a premier program where you want to be able to play with a program like that if we want to be playing great football. And to go down there, again, we went down there 2 years ago, found a way to get a win in overtime, went down there this year and found a way to get another win. They're just an unbelievably coached program, solid in all areas, and to come out of there with a victory, just proud of our guys to continue this win streak.
Some weeks we talk about offense, some weeks we talk about defense first. We'll start with special teams this week. Special teams, as they say, it's 1/3 of the game, and it's cliche, but it's also very true. The Wolverines blocking 2 punts on Saturday. Mason Klaus, his blocked punt set up the go-ahead score. And then in the fourth quarter, Nick Clemens, the freshman from Moon, who also had a sack, the PAC newcomer of the week this week, he blows through, blocks another kick, picks it up at the 10, runs it in for a touchdown to make it 21-7. To get 1 blocked punt against Case is significant. To get 2 in the span of a quarter, kind of mind-blowing, a bit shocking. What a job by the special teams.
Yeah, unbelievable. And it was pretty neat, when I was talking to Coach Brest, and he had mentioned on the field, and then again as we were looking back at it, that, the guys came off after the first punt, and they saw some opportunities, discussed things they could do, and then they went out and executed it. So just really neat that our guys, you talk about 1/3 of the game, how serious they take special teams, but then to take a rep of it and say, hey, this is how they're doing it, this is how they're blocking it, we could maybe look at trying this, and then, I have credit everyone involved, coaches, to just say, yeah, go ahead and try it then. and they did and executed it. So just unbelievably done. Just proud of, just everyone involved and the special teams continuing to make big plays to allow us to win these football games. And those 2 were obviously huge plays. And another scoop and score for freshman, rookie of the week. Obviously that was a big reason why. A big reason why we've had this 6-game win streak is the special teams, and they continue to deliver.
And something we don't talk a whole lot about, but when you talk about the feedback from the players, and I'm sure that's something that the offensive coaches get, the defensive coordinators too. Certainly there are coaches upstairs watching things, but a lot of times that feedback from the players, they're in the middle of it. I'm sure that they're not coming over saying, hey, tell them what play to run on 3rd and 7, but I'm sure that feedback is very important.
Yeah, I mean, we've been at our best in all 3 phases. It's players. We always talk about living in vision. Well, one aspect of that is, you have to be able to be on the field and know your position so well to be able to adjust on the fly and say, hey, we got to go this instead of that. We got to run this route instead of that route. Or, hey, this is what I got to adjust in my coverage. Or in this case, special teams. Here's how we have to adjust attacking the punter. Our best teams is having guys doing that. And special teams, sometimes it's harder to get there just because, it's, you maybe don't get as many reps at that, or, you don't know what you're looking for. Well, I tell you what, Coach Brest, amazing job with those units and the guys that they truly understand their role. So if they're not able, if something's happening or they see an opportunity, they say, hey, we should take advantage of this. And that's what happened there and happened in other phases as well, which we'll get into. It's really the players making the decisions on the field, and that's when you have your best teams and you're playing your best football.
Of course, last Saturday was your 100th game as head coach, and the first trick play, a fake punt. Anthony Brunette, who's turned it into an offensive juggernaut, also caught a pass, ran for a first down. Ended up the Wolverines did not convert on that drive. But again, was that a similar type situation where the players said, hey, we can get this based especially on down distance and field location, and that you hadn't shown it in 10 years?
Well, it's something we've worked every single week, and it was said that this is the situation we're going to do that in, and that situation hasn't come up, and just where we were at, and how they were aligning, coupled with a number of factors that align that said this is the exact situation, and we knew that if we were going to be in that situation, that's when we'd call it. And so that opportunity finally presented itself, and the guys have done an amazing job working at that all week. We really feel we have a special talent in Anthony Burnett. And what I mean by that is, we look for fullbacks who can block. We look for personal protectors in this case who are going to block. That has to be there. That's how you play solid snap to kick times, or in the run game, solid, run blocking. But when you have a unique talent that can do that, block like a lineman or personal protect like a lineman, but can catch the football and run the football, you provide yourself some other opportunities. And Anthony actually made an amazing cut on that. That where that was designed to hit initially wasn't there. He made an adjustment. He got to the outside, got the extra yard past the sticks to get us the first down. Anthony allows us to do some different things, and the situation presented itself. So we've had it ready to go, and it was finally time to go to it. And what that did do, though, was really eat up time that prevented them from being able to do anything before the half, and that's where it was a real positive for us.
And we'll touch more on the offense, but just staying with Anthony Burnett, on a year where the offense has been so young, having over 400 games played and starts, graduating from last year, he and Daniel Sullivan, Luke Jolly, those three with some seasoning, the experienced guys, Sully and Luke, they've done a great job. And Anthony, what a rock of stability he's been for a ground game that has been continually evolving and having a good year, but what a year he's had.
Yeah, he's truly been the captain leader for us. When we look at a guy that, is able to make checks, is able to get us in the right situation, get a play, able to come to the sidelines and say, hey, this is what happened, this is where we need to adjust. And then the guy has versatility. At the fullback position, you think about a fake punt, you think about catching a touchdown, having another catch this week with a first down conversion. So not only providing the stability in the run game with a bunch of young guys, and we're onto a backup center who's doing an amazing job, but we lost the starter, so that puts more pressure on the fullback in the run game and pass game. So he's one of our captains. He's truly been a leader off the field, but then really being the leader offensively, getting us in the right calls, or in that case, getting the punt check call so that we can all execute. He's been a model captain for us this season.
Another guy that certainly has been a leader and a model captain on the defensive side, Caleb Brubaker, this week's PAC Defensive Player of the Week, named to D3Football.com's Team of the Week as well. 2 sacks, an interception, 15 total tackles. Ever since Ben Bladel went down against Westminster, it seems observationally that Caleb has taken his high level of play and taken it up even another notch. Now 6.5 sacks this year, ranking. He leads the PAC in tackles for loss. It's like it's like he was playing very well, and he's ratcheted up even more. It's been incredible to see.
Yeah, he's an All-American talent. We know we have multiple on defense. Obviously, Ben one of those, and Caleb's one of those. And yeah, I think sometimes it is that way. And to be honest, we are, due to the situation we're in, doing some different things with our linebackers, meaning he's blitzing a little bit more, things of that nature too. And it's pretty special. I mean, this is how you have a solid football team that can win year in and year out. Is each year, the team looks different, and each week this year the team has looked different. Well, you're going to need guys to step up, and Caleb has been one of, if not the best player on the field every time we step on the field, and that's how he's been playing. Like certainly that came to fruition this week, and being honored with D3 football, being honored by the conference. He's as good as you can find at that linebacker position, and I'm excited that he's been able to show that and be recognized accordingly this season and this week.
All in all, the defense, 5 takeaways, 4 interceptions, plus a fumble recovery, 4 sacks as well, holding Case Western Reserve to less than half its average in rushing. Spartans came in averaging 163 a game. Grove City holding Case Western Reserve to 71. Another great day for the defense.
Oh, it's unbelievable. The takeaways first. I mean, that's such a huge part to who wins these tight football games, especially in the PAC, something we've really put a focus on over the last several years. And, when your defense is taking it away that much, you're going to be in a position to win a lot of football games. And, so many guys stepping up. Really the secondary, even if Case completed a ball, we were right there. And then to come up with some huge interceptions and key moments, too. They get down towards the red zone, getting the takeaway there. I mean, you think about Bowden's tip, just that play. Noah, again, unbelievable. So Keegan Frazier, every time they throw near him anymore, you think it's going to be – it just seems like it's bound to be intercepted. Obviously, Caleb sealing it for us. Just so many guys involved. Mason Klaus, Brian Montgomery, might as well name them all. I mean, my goodness.
Yes.
And the D-line getting the pressure of the linebackers. It's we are playing a high-level defense, and if you want to win 6 games, you want to put yourself in position. Obviously, a big one this week, but any postseason play, you're going to be having to play great defense in November, and my goodness, we are playing great defense in November.
Bowden Davidson, that interception in the end zone, that Noah Wheeler, they tried to hit the back on the wheel route.
Yeah.
Noah Wheeler negated it, and then not only the interception, but a big run back past midfield.
Correct.
And that's kind of that hidden yardage. Mason Klaus, I think they credited him with 3 pass breakups. It seemed like he had maybe twice that many. But Mason Klaus, a guy coming in on a veteran defense, and I'll ask you about him, and then the 2 other new guys, if you will, from the start of the season, Kellen Taylor and then Dave Cower. Those 3 guys, all first-year starters. Mason a sophomore, Taylor a freshman, Dave Cower a junior, but they've all done different things. Mason's moved positions. Dave Cower's played nose and end. These guys, we aren't saying, oh, that's the new guy out there, because they're playing like the guys of the past have.
Yeah. It's a huge thing for us is modeling. It's a biblical principle. You want to model those who've come before you. Paul says, imitate me as I imitate Christ. Actually, we did a lesson this week with the guys, especially the offense, on imitate those who come before you. One of the things I remember Coach Vogt still uses is our first postseason bowl win in school history was Jake Ross chasing down a trick play and getting a fumble right before the guy gets the end zone. And we use that as a model of effort every rep, no loafs. Well, I can tell you there's a clip of Mason Klaus this week that's being added to the effort every rep, no loafs playlist. I mean, he had many clear breakups being there, but there was one play. He was not in a great position at first, what it looked like, but just unbelievable effort, full speed, throws his whole body there to get the ball down. I mean, that's the kind of stuff you have to do to be playing high-level football, and mentally being in the position. But it may sound like a simple phrase, but not always easy to execute. Effort every rep, no loafs. I mean, always giving 100% effort. Well, that's Mason Klaus right now. And the 2 guys you mentioned up front, we pride ourselves on being one of the best, if not the best, run defense year in and year out. When you lose a Kobe Bonanno and Bryce Spolnick, that's not going to be easy to do. Well, we've been able to still, like you say, a team that averages 160, keep them in the 70s of rushing or somewhere in that regard. Well, that's what shows you what Kellen Taylor and Dave Cower defeating so many clips of them either just winning the line of scrimmage, winning the first second, so that you're not letting the offense get any movement, any movement down the field. They're getting penetration into the backfield, moving their guy a yard or 2 into the backfield. It's all those little things that could maybe go unnoticed, but I'm glad you brought them up, because obviously you see the big plays, you see the interceptions and sacks, but the play-in, play-out effort of doing your job of guys like the 3 you just mentioned are another reason why we are playing elite defense right now.
Offensively, the Wolverines, there were a couple drops, some interceptions early on. It was it wasn't as smooth as you'd like, but the guys in blue, I guess they had the anthracite jerseys last week, a very good defense as well. But getting the touchdown to Seth McGroarty to get the lead 7-0, was a 7-0 lead at the half. And, Ethan Wiley, he's the classic gunslinger back there. And he keeps going, and, eventually he's going to hit one. And he and Seth, it seemed like they both showed a lot of resiliency, bouncing back from a little bit of a tough start.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I get so excited, and again with the pass game this week of just the opportunities in front of us. We had everything we wanted, I felt, in that first half. You mentioned we had a couple drops. It happens. But I really thought it was one of our best games against an elite team, obviously coming off St. Vincent, where I thought there was a lot of positive things. But going to a lot of different options that kept their corners off balance. I mean, we had what we wanted. Obviously, you saw that. We had opportunities to catch the ball. We didn't do that. But to stay with it, it's similar in that Westminster game. Obviously, we got to keep getting better. We want to complete more. But, in that Westminster game, we hit the big post, which then did give us that 7-point lead. And, Seth and Ethan on that first touchdown went to the right route at the right time that was able to get behind the corner, get that touchdown. Obviously, Daniel Sullivan made a nice catch on his touchdown as well. Some big third down conversions there. So, we always say Stockdale paradox. Confront the brutal facts, retain faith. Confront the brutal facts. We had a slow start, and we got to clean that up, because if we want to continue playing football, obviously we don't know how many more opportunities we're going to get, but we want to go in the postseason and win in the postseason or have opportunities. We got to be able to do that. But the retain faith, again, there's a lot of positive things to build on. The 2 touchdowns, the third down conversions are a couple of those things that, have us excited. And, I'm excited for this group to continue to get better.
And late, Grove City up 21-14. Caleb Brubaker gets the interception at the 36 of Case. Next play, Ian DeMary, who had been tough sledding for the Wolverines in the ground game against that very good Case defense, but able to deliver the knockout blow, much like I know you used the boxing analogy. Well, we're in the 12th round at that point, and Ian DeMary put one on the jaw going off the left side, that touchdown run to seal it 28-14.
Yeah, and it's kind of been a staple for us over the long haul. Is it's going to be ugly at times, both the run and the pass, but we do strive on big plays, that we're going to be able to get behind you. That was a good example we just talked about in the past. But eventually, if our run game wears on you, we're probably going to break one at some point, and obviously that we did there. Perfectly blocked, Gabe Hilty on the outside, unbelievable job coming down. But you talk about Anthony Burnett and Dustin Hoddle. That was not an easy block to execute. The way the defense played, Anthony had to make an adjustment outside of what he normally does on that block based off how the defender was defending it. Then Dustin has to read that and do something different based off Anthony's block. He did that perfectly. So you talk about the fullback position, something that's not always utilized, but why that's so unique, why it's hard to be great at that and go catch a ton of routes. And then obviously we're doing that a little bit more with our fullbacks, but that was a very, very, I thought, well-defended play. But I thought those 2 fullbacks especially, how they executed off of that and played off each other. It's 2 fullbacks that you can tell now are really having comfortable. They're having chemistry. They're reading each other well, and then Ian reading off of them. So it looked like, and he did, broke into the open, a wide open touchdown. A lot of things, the line of scrimmage had to happen, and it was just well executed, and I was proud of those guys taking advantage to put the game away.
6 straight wins for the Wolverines. They're now 7-2 overall, 6-1 in the PAC. Grove City alive and well in the postseason chase, certainly. The Wolverines needing a win and a few other things around the country to go their way on Saturday to get back into the national playoffs for a 3rd straight season. If the Wolverines win and things don't happen, the Wolverines still looking at the opportunity of the Open Doors Bowl in Canton on the 22nd. But first things first, the Wolverines have to take care of Hiram. The Terriers have won 3 games this year. They've shown a big leap under first-year head coach Xavier Dupree. We'll talk about the Terriers, all that, and much, much more. But first, here's Joe Onderko with this week's PAC Football Report. You're listening to the Andrew D. Donato Show, brought to you by Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash in Grove City.
Welcome to the final PAC Football Report for 2025 for games on November 15th. I'm Joe Underko. This week we will take a quick look back at last Saturday's football action in the President's Athletic Conference, while also previewing Week 11 games this weekend. Washington and Jefferson clinched a tie for the PAC title and the league's automatic bid to the NCAA D3 playoffs following a 49-7 win at Geneva. Grove City remained a game back behind the Presidents with their sixth straight win, a 28-14 road decision at Case Western Reserve. Westminster blasted Hiram 76-0, while Waynesburg outlasted St. Vincent 35-24. Finally, Bethany earned its first win of the season with a 17-12 final at Teal. Allegheny had the weekend off. Offensive PAC Player of the Week honors in Week 10 went to W&J senior quarterback Kellen Stahl with 384 passing yards and 6 TD passes at Geneva. Defensive laurels went to Grove City senior linebacker Caleb Brubaker with 15 tackles, 2 QB sacks, and an interception at Case. Special teams recognition went to Waynesburg freshman wideout Ethan Floyd with a blocked punt and TD return against St. Vincent. Newcomer of the week was Grove City freshman linebacker Nick Clemens, who posted 4 tackles, a sack, and a blocked punt with a TD return at Case. Week 11 has the league schedule closing with 5 conference contests, while Waynesburg has the bye. The game of the week features 5-4 Geneva traveling to Cleveland to face 4-1 Case Western Reserve at DeSanto Field at 1 p.m. The Spartans have won 10 of 11 all-time matchups against the GTs, with the only Geneva win being a 7-0 shutout back in 1977. Case head coach Greg Debelak talks about facing Geneva's Gino DeMarco in his final regular season game as DeMarco heads into retirement after 33 seasons leading the GT program.
He buys into the values of Geneva College and the number of people that he's influenced and supported through the years. He's a special person, and it's going to be a special day for me that we're his last game.
In other action, 6-3 Westminster travels to Latrobe for a 1 p.m. kickoff against 2-7 St. Vincent at Chuck Knoll Field. The Titans have won 19 of 22 all-time meetings against the Bearcats dating back to 1949 and have won the last 10 matchups, with the last St. Vincent win in the series being a 21-9 final back in 2011. First-year Bearcat head coach Casey Goff talks about the growth and development he saw in his program during his rookie campaign.
I think the kids have responded positively to the things that we were looking to do. What we've been so pleased with is the effort. And no matter what's happening on the field, our kids continue to fight and they continue to battle. And that to a lot of people around the program has been very noticeable.
After a Week 10 bye, 3-6 Allegheny will close the campaign by hosting 1-8 Bethany at Frank Fuhrer Stadium in Meadville at 1 p.m. The series between the programs dates back to 1926, with the Gators holding a 20-15-1 advantage all-time against the Bison, including a 20-14 win in West Virginia last season. Allegheny head coach Braden Lair is wary of a Bethany squad that is hungry to close the season with a pair of road wins.
Man, I mean, they're dangerous. Their quarterback is a heck of a playmaker. He creates when nothing's there. They've got some talented receivers on the edge that can make a lot of plays. And what stood out to me about the Teal game is the opportunistic defense. They're in it. They are not going to give up. They're going to continue to fight till the last whistle. So we've got to continue to execute from play 1 through play 100 because they're good enough to beat you.
7-2 Washington and Jefferson will face its final hurdle before the NCAA playoffs as the Presidents host 1-8 Teal at Cameron Stadium in Washington at 1 p.m. Having already clinched their 28th PAC title, W&J faces the Tomcats for the 78th time, dating back to 1896, having won the past 18 meetings. The last Teal win at W&J was a 38-35 overtime thriller in their PAC championship season of 2005. Finally, 7-2 Grove City looks to keep its postseason hopes alive as the Wolverines travel to face 3-6 Hiram at Henry Field at 1 p.m. GCC holds a narrow 23-20-1 margin all-time against the Terriers in a series that dates back to 1911, but the teams have not met since a 68-20 GCC victory in 2003. That's all for this final edition of the PAC Football Report for the 2025 season. Log on to the conference website at www.pacathletics.org during the off-season for the latest news, scores, statistics, and other league info. You can also follow us on social media via X, Facebook, and Instagram. Links are available at the PAC website. I'm Joe Underko. Thanks for listening, and for a final time in 2025, we'll see you at the stadium.
Frenchak here at the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Experience. We're all about experience. The experience of our expert quick lube techs and also the experience we provide you with every oil change. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come here to the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City for the experience. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy. The Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Welcome back to the Andrew DiDonato Show here on the Wolverines Sports Network. Ryan Briggs here with Grove City head football coach Andrew DiDonato. This week's show, as always, is brought to you by Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash in Grove City. They're on North Broad Street. Give them a stop by, see them, get an oil change, wiper blades. It's that time of year. Don't want to have the bad wiper blades here as the winter weather has arrived in western Pennsylvania this week. And we'll ask Coach if it's maybe affected practice a little bit, practicing out in the cold and snow. But the object of this week's practice is, of course, the Hiram Terriers. And, Coach, first-year head coach there, and Xavier Dupree, 3 wins for Hiram, first year back in the PAC since the late 80s. And when you look at Hiram, obviously it seems to start with the quarterback, Sean Tejada. Over 2,600 passing yards this year, nearly 300 a game. This is a team that likes to throw it around and has had some success doing so.
Yeah, you just highlighted the biggest thing that jumps out about this team. Man, have they been able to throw the football effectively. We saw that early in the year. There's some common opponents. As we were preparing for opponents we were playing earlier this year, I'd be watching the film, and man, Hiram's pass game is impressive. And it starts with the quarterback. He's amazing. He great arm, very accurate. You don't throw for over 300 games unless you are extremely accurate. If he has time back there, he's going to put the ball exactly where it needs to be. So, and they got multiple receivers. They're very similar to what we talked about, last week, where they may have some guys that have some really big statistics, but I tell you what, everybody's a threat, and he is willing to take any of them. So they'll spread you out. They got 4 receivers that they can utilize. All of them are great pass catchers. All of them can get open. I think they're all very similar in a lot of respects. So. I think that's the biggest challenge that Hiram brings is just a great passing attack and a very accurate quarterback.
The receivers, Kevin Dix, Devon Lewis, Jordan Stapleton, all of them have had big seasons on the outside this year. R.J. Johnson, 5'9", 205 sophomore as the running back, and then the backup, Isaiah Livingstone. Do they use a lot of 2-backs, or do they rotate them, or how does that play out in the running game?
Yeah, they'll do a little bit of everything. I mean, really, they do like to just spread you out. They like getting all those receivers on the field, depending on how the game's going, different motions, a lot of different packages. But, really, it's however the quarterback's doing. If he's in a flow, then they just want to spread you out and let him do his thing. But I like their running backs too. I think they utilize them out of the backfield well. I just think it's a traditional spread offense, and however the game dictates, they're going to spread you out, and that kind of obeys how many running backs and how they utilize multiple receivers.
Up front, a very young unit, 3 freshmen. Then a sophomore left tackle and a junior at center, but seems like they have some nice size there, and they have said, we might take some lumps with these young guys, but we're going to build around them, and they've taken some lumps. They've also done some good things. I'm sure they've come a long way here through the first 10 weeks of the season.
Yeah, a lot of young guys playing specifically on the line, but that's the thing about, when you get to week 10, you're not really a freshman anymore. I mean, you are, but you now have a lot of game experience. They've played a lot of great opponents, so, certainly these guys have grown up, but it is a reality. It's a part of rebuilding. Obviously, 3 wins this year, 3-6 right now for them. A lot of strides forward, putting up a lot of yards in every game, even those close ones that maybe they didn't pull out. But a part of that is you play young guys, and they're going to grow with them, and they're doing a lot of great things. And these guys have gotten better all year. And, now in week 10, they've seen everything, so I don't think we're going to throw too many things at them that they haven't seen before.
Defensively, they list a 3-3-5. Do they run a 3-3-5, or how do they deploy the defense?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it more as a 3-4 principle. Either way, it's an odd front.
Okay.
What they're trying to accomplish. They're going to bring somebody. We expect that from either side. And obviously against us, they may put even more guys on the line of scrimmage, play it more like a bare front at times. Against Westminster, they did jump into an even front, based off something they saw on film against Westminster. So that just tells me they're willing to be multiple. And obviously we run a little bit different of an offense than everybody. So being that they are an odd front, they've showed a bear before against Westminster. They played even front. Now you're playing Grove City, who likes to run the ball. We're preparing for all of those. An odd front based off the 2 deep, and that is their base defense, what they've done most this season. But, as always, and based off what we've seen on film and knowing that, they're playing us, we're ready for anything.
Middle linebacker Cole Terreri, a Kennedy Catholic grad over in Hermitage. He's been one of the leading tacklers the last few years, anchoring that defense in the middle. The 6 foot, 215-pound senior. It seems like a little bit more experience on defense than on offense, but still a relatively young unit.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that they're. Obviously they have a senior who's having a really good year. You can tell he's the leader of their defense. But, yeah, I mean, as you're rebuilding and building a program, you want to get as many young guys in there as possible, let them grow into it, and they've been able to do that. Part of the reason they're able to be multiple is they do have those linebackers, similar to us at times, and even safety types that they're willing to put on the line of scrimmage. You don't really have to sub out for what they want to do. They'll bring that outside backer to the field, put them on the line of scrimmage, roll a safety down. So I think I think one thing that jumps out about their defensive personnel is they will utilize guys in different spots and not have to sub to do that. And that's just another challenge that they present.
Grove City heading to Hiram for the first time since the 2002 opener. And Wolverines last played Hiram in 2003 in the opener when there was a young split end named Dave DiDonato.
I was going to say that.
He was a junior. That was the year he caught 10 touchdown passes from our buddy across town, Sam Mowry, back in 03. The Wolverines winning the last one 68-20. Remember Steve Roberts, a punt return touchdown that day.
Wow.
When you have an opponent, such as Hiram, a new conference opponent, you obviously have quite a library with Westminster and W&J and the other teams. Hiram back into the league this year. How challenging is it in terms of from a preparation standpoint? Obviously, you have 9 weeks worth of game film, so there aren't any secrets. But I guess maybe even this would go back more in the off season when you're kind of doing some reviewing and stuff with the new coaching staff and everything. Has the preparation been any different at all for Hiram based upon that, or would that have been maybe a better question in week 2?
No, it is a very, very important question, and it is. It's different than how I prepared last week for Case. With Case, you look at here's what they tried to accomplish against us in 2022. Here's what they did differently in 23 based off 22. Here's what they did in 24. So you kind of see the progression of, if they have the same coordinators, of course.
Sure.
But you see how an opponent likes to attack you. This is the benefit of being in the national playoffs each year since 2018. If I'm right, I think we're 5-2 in the playoffs between bowl games and playoffs since 2018. We've had success. We take that approach. So when you're playing a team you don't know, you do weigh a lot more heavily, of course, on their 3 most recent games. Obviously, you always do that, but you're not bringing in your, what they did against you last season. So it does change how you plan, and we've approached this like a playoff game. We really have. It's great that we're playing them right before the postseason, whether that might be a bowl game, playoffs, whatever. But to me, I told the offense that this is a playoff game, and we're preparing it as such in that we don't know this team at all, other than what they've put on film the last few weeks. So that's how we've been approaching this game with Hiram, which is very, very different than especially last week Case. And in terms also preparation, of course, it gets dark earlier now with the time change. We've had some snow this week. The weather has certainly turned. How do you, again, there are lights at Thorne Field, so you're not practicing in the dark, but is that kind of affected anything, or have you had to adjust anything because of, you think, camp, and then September, and then October, practice finishing up, and it's still daylight, and now, guys are just getting loose and it's dark. Does that affect anything at all? It does, and it's part of the progression every year that since I've been head coach here that I've believed in. And as the season goes on, you want to cut back periods. Periods are, for example, maybe a 5-minute window where we're going to work a drill, right? That's a period, and then you go to the next period, then maybe a team period or whatever it might be. But the goal is at certain aspects of the season, you're cutting back less periods and cutting back practice. So you're out on the field 15 less minutes, by mid-season, or maybe by the end of the year you're on the field, way less than that. And that's what we've done even this week, with the weather change. Especially getting ready, keeping guys fresh. We keep cutting back practice, making it shorter and shorter as the season goes on. And that's just where we're at. So, yeah, even this week we've cut it back even more, out on the field way less than we were maybe week one or in camp, of course. So yeah, it does impact it, and that's how it does for us. We're just on the field less. More team periods at this point in the season, just kind of getting right to here's what Hiram does, here's what we need to work, and getting out.
And not to oversimplify it, but at some point, if they don't know what they're doing at this point in terms of some drills and techniques, good chance they're not going to get it this year.
Exactly. So it's more now at this point just getting ready for the opponent and getting your work in and getting out and staying fresh.
What are a couple keys for the Wolverines to go to Hiram, close the regular season with a 7th straight win, and then figure out what we're doing next week?
Number one, I think we have opportunities in our run game to start with that, but I'm excited for the pass. I think, honestly, one of the biggest things I want to see is, heading into the postseason is to just really connect for 4 quarters in the pass game. That's something that we've really focused on this week. So, obviously, we run the ball, but honestly, I really want to see our pass game put together a full 4-quarter performance of consistency. In the defensively, of course, we always want to shut down the run, but we're playing as good of a quarterback statistically that we've seen all year. We got to limit him. They thrive off explosive plays, eliminate those, and like we did last week, we're going to have to get to the quarterback and not let him just stay in rhythm. And then special teams, obviously win the field position battle, but this group has upped the ante that we want to see an impact play. We've done it every week, a major impact play in this game. So if we're able to have 4 quarters of consistency in the pass game, run the football, eliminate all explosives, keep the quarterback off balance, take away the run, and win field position, and including getting an impact play on special teams, I think that's the complete performance we're looking for.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. We will get to do this at least one more time, whether it's playoffs, Open Doors Bowl, another bowl opportunity, depending on how things all shake out on Saturday. But we appreciate your time. Best of luck against Hiram, and we'll talk to you next week about an opponent that we may not know a whole lot about, just like this week.
Yes, absolutely. Look forward to it. Thanks, Brixie.
You've been listening to the Andrew D. Donato Show, brought to you by Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash in Grove City. We'll take our final break. When we come back, we will go to Henry Field in Portage County, Ohio. Mark Beans and I will have the call, the regular season finale. It's Grove City and Hiram, and it comes up next on the home of the Wolverines.
Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy. Check your oil, check your fluids, and get you clean. Fast, friendly service for cars, trucks, and SUVs. Wiper blades or filters, check your tire pressure. Locally owned, nationally known. No appointment necessary. Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy.
Ken Frenchak here at the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Experience. We're all about experience. The experience of our expert quick lube techs, and also the experience we provide you with every oil change. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come here to the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City for the experience. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy. The Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City.
Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy.
Founded in 1955, the President's Athletic Conference is regarded as one of the elite NCAA Division III conferences in the nation. Comprised of 12 private institutions and 1 associate member, the PAC thrives in athletics and academics. Now sponsoring 24 varsity sports, the PAC remains unique in this day of high-pressure college athletics, with academics at the core of every program. With over 300 academic All-Americans and over 1,400 academic honor roll recipients with a 3.6 GPA or higher in the past year alone. Our student-athletes excel in athletics as well as the classroom. Want to learn more? Visit us at pacathletics.org or follow us on social media.
And good afternoon and welcome to Grove City College Wolverine football. This afternoon, the Wolverines on the road at Henry Field at Malmesser Stadium in Hiram, Ohio to take on the Terriers. Mark Means, Ryan Briggs with you. And Ryan, first time in a long time for these Grove City Wolverines to come to Hiram.
Yeah, first time since the 2002 opener. Of course, that was a non-conference game. These teams were PAC foes from 1984 to 1988. And teeing it up here today in the regular season finale, Grove City with a chance, perhaps with a win and some help to get into the playoffs. Hiram, the Terriers have had a good season this year. They've 3 wins, most wins in a number of years under head coach Xavier Dupree. There's a lot of excitement here with Hiram. Wolverines coming on the road, where they're 4-0 on the road this year. Should be a lot of fun today here in Portage County, Ohio.
One of the stats we talked about in your release heading into the game was the fact this Grove City secondary, as a team, they lead all of college football in team interceptions with 22.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of guys. Of course, Keegan Frazier with 6 picks leading the way. He leads the conference, but it's been linebackers. We saw Caleb Brubaker help seal the win at Case Western Reserve last week with a pick. 22 interceptions, number 1 in the country. Not just Division III, all of NCAA college football. A stiff test, certainly. Sean Tejada, 2,600 passing yards this year for Hiram. Did not play last week. The Terriers certainly missed him at Westminster. But certainly with the receivers, Jordan Stapleton, 51 catches. Kevin Dix, 36 receptions. Hiram's going to throw the ball around a lot today, and the Wolverines secondary will need to be up to the test. The wind today, we can see the officials' pants at the coin toss flapping in the wind. It is a breezy day here, temperature around 60. It's kind of weird. I know that sometimes we always used to play teal in the finale. Some days we'd be up at teal in short sleeves on November 15th or 13th or whatever. Other times we look like the great Dannook bundled up. So certainly a warm day today, but some weather's supposed to move in later today and a lot cooler for the weekend. But the Wolverines, they've been hot on the road, 4-0, looking to get to 5-0.
The Terriers, you mentioned, they are 3-6 at 2-5 in the President's Athletic Conference. The Wolverines 7-2 and 6-1, and really keyed by a hot defense that has played exceptionally well since the game against Mount Union, giving up less than 14 points per game in all of those outings.
Yeah, of course, had the Mount Union game, then the open date, and then a tough night against W&J. But since then, the Wolverine defense has been has really been playing well, and it's been all levels. The front 3, you see the maturity of the young guys, Kellen Taylor, Dave Cower up front. The linebacking core, in spite with Ben Bladel being out, Nick Clemens stepping into the breach for him and doing outstanding work. And then that secondary, which has been shuffled around a little bit because of injuries. Dominic Danino, who's having a great year, has missed some time. But then you look around, guys like Mason Klaus moving to slot corner. Bowden Davidson moving out. Keegan Frazier taking over as a starter, and he's intercepted 6 passes. It's been a lot of fun to watch this Wolverine team evolve, guys getting their opportunity and making the most of it.
We are just about ready to get this one underway as Wolverines will be kicking with Brady Lane handling the kick duties. And there are going to be 2 men back deep for the Terriers as the Wolverines and Terriers getting together for the first time in a while in the PAC on a warm and overcast Saturday afternoon in the last week of the regular season for Division III football. Lane going to approach the football, gets his foot into this kick, high, deep, end over end, and this is about 8 yards deep and another touchback for Brady Lane.
And what a job he's done this year punting, but also the kickoffs, his ability to make teams have to drive the field and negate any opportunity for return. We see it there again today as maybe a bit wind-aided, but still putting that one deep into the end zone. And Hiram will have to go the length of the field.
Terriers left to right on this opening possession. Sean Tejada, the quarterback, 2,226 yards, 22 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He's also rushed for a pair of touchdowns. They'll start on 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. They're going to pitch it to the tailback, trying to turn the corner. That's R.J. Johnson. And Johnson bottled up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It's 2nd down and 10.
Jack Jolly, Keegan Frazier in on the stop to bring down Johnson. Keegan Frazier, we talk about the 6 interceptions mark, but also does a really good job in run support coming downhill.
3 receivers going to the right side. Tejada to throw, feeling some pressure from his backside. And he is going to be forced out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. It's another pressure defensively for the Wolverines. That's Brubaker adding to his season sack total.
Now 7.5 for Caleb Brubaker. At least for now, he takes over the PAC lead. He was a half sack behind. And it'll be a short loss on the play back. Actually call it a loss of 3, so now 3rd and 13 upcoming for the Terriers.
Brubaker now 84 tackles, 7.5 sacks, throwing an interception to his stat total that's been incredible in his senior season. Play clock down to 15 seconds. Trips to the right of the formation for Tejada, who drops to throw. Has time, going to go over the middle, too far out in front of his intended target, Devon Lewis, and the incompletion brings up a quick 3 and out for the Terriers.
Yeah, Lewis, he's certainly a home run hitter in the passing game, but the pressure, Tejada was a little bit off balance when we let it go, and it's a 3 and out, and we'll get our, it'll be Bowden Davidson deep for the punt. Of course, the Wolverines blocked 2 punts last week at Case Western Reserve. See if they come after this one.
Bowden Davidson back to return. Luke Hawkins, the freshman punter, averaging about 32 yards a kick. Snap back to him. Rush is on. He just does get this spiraling kick away. Bowden Davidson will back away from it. That'll now take a bit of a Grove City roll. And they're going to have their opening possession right about the 48-yard line of the Wolverines, going right to left here in the first quarter. Getting the start at quarterback is the senior Ethan Wiley, 536 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions for the senior out of Mercer. Ian DeMary going to get the start at tailback, as it will be Sullivan to the right side. It'll be McGroarty to the left, with both fullbacks in there on this first snap of the football from the Grove City 48-yard line. Wiley takes this snap, gives the ball to Ian DeMary. 2 hands on the football for DeMary as he plows forward down to the 48-yard line, picks up close to 4. It's 2nd down and 6.
Cole Terreri, the middle linebacker, leading tackler on the season for the Terriers, played at Kennedy Catholic over in Hermitage. He's had a really good career for the Terriers, and he stops DeMary, who gets the start. Wolverines coming out in the double fullback set today, which they've used a lot, but they haven't started a game that way in a while.
Sullivan, the receiver, to the right side. Both fullbacks move strong side now to the left. Wyatt Barzak in there at a tight end spot as well. Now the fullbacks both step back off the line of scrimmage. Play clock down under 10 seconds. They're going to run the football. That's Chase Rankin. And Chase Rankin's carry picks up a couple of yards for him. It's going to be a 3rd down and about 3 facing the Wolverines.
Yeah, you have to think Rankin's excited coming back close to home. He's from the Akron area, Coventry Township. Put together a really nice year this year. And what's the Wolverines in 3rd and short, brought down by Malik Wilson, inside linebacker. Not listed as a starter, but a guy that plays as much or more than some of the starters on defense.
Rankin came into play 3rd in the conference in rushing with just under 600 yards. 3rd down. Rankin gets the carry, gets the 1st down and more across the 40, still on his feet across the 30, and he's going to be down near the 26-yard line. Big run for Chase Rankin off the right side.
So it was Cade Scott, the free safety there, or actually the corner coming over, the only one who there to get him, but Rankin ahead of steam and down to the 26-yard line, pickup of 19, and the Wolverines convert on 3rd and short.
Just under 12 minutes to play in this opening quarter. First possession of the game for the Wolverines. It has Rankin at tailback. And McGroarty to the left side. Barzak to the right side, tight on the line of scrimmage. Play clock down to 4 seconds. Give it to Rankin, and this time he's met just a little bit in the backfield and dropped for about a 1-yard loss. It'll bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, Cole Terreri blitzing from the inside linebacker spot, coming right between the center guard gap to drop him. And Terreri, you look at him, wear number 44 out there, get the big shoulder pads, having a really good year for the Terriers, coming in, leading the team, 69 tackles on the season. He's already racked up a couple here in the early going.
2nd and 11 for the Wolverines. 1 receiver to the right and a 2 to the left side. Wiley to throw first time. Pass caught in the slot. That's Sam Penna with the reception, and Penna down to the 15-yard line, moves the chains for the Wolverines.
Sam Penna finding the soft spot in the zone, and a lot of room there to work with. Down to the 14. Of course, Ethan Wiley, he can throw the deep ball, but he's really become a very good underneath passer as well. And Wolverines get 13 yards down to the 14. Stedman in on the stop.
Penna's 17th grab of the year for the junior. Two to the right now, one to the left. That's McGroarty. They're going to give it to Rankin. Big hole up the middle, inside the 10, 5, and into the end zone. A touchdown for Rankin. A 14-yard touchdown run for Chase Rankin, his 4th score of the season.
6 plays, 52 yards on the drive. He used 313, went right up the middle, and that front 5 anchored by the center Zeke Swift. They get a good push, and Chase Rankin turns the good field position. Of course, the Wolverines starting at their own 48. 6 plays later in the touchdown, for the touchdown, a 6-0 lead.
So Lane will come on for the extra point. Lambert to snap it, Ellis to hold. Snap and hold are good, and the extra point follows it up, and it is good as well. 10:30 to play in the opening quarter. It is Grove City 7, Hiram 0. You are listening to the Wolverines Sports.
Smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
So you're giving up, just like that.
Giving up on what?
On getting an inheritance from a distant relative.
Don't you think if there were a billionaire in the family, we'd know about it by now?
Listen to me. We are one phone call away from riding horses on our own private polo grounds. One call from christening yachts, having a butler, using summer as a verb.
How do you figure?
Look, everyone's got a rich uncle somewhere. It's statistics. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for the inevitable.
Right, which is why I thought maybe it would be smart to take control of my finances. You know, start using a budget, get out of debt, set some retirement goals.
Budgets? Debt? You watch your mouth. Retirement shouldn't be a goal for us. It should be a way of life.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Back here on the Wolverine Sports Network, Lane's kick is away. This one again will roll into the end zone for another touchback, and Brady Lane continues to show off the leg this season.
2 kickoffs, 2 touchbacks, and another long field for Hiram. Of course, the Terriers went 3 and out. And you think about the game within the game, field position, Mark, the Grove City, the touchback on the opening kickoff. Hiram a short punt into the wind. Grove City gets the ball at midfield, goes down and scores. Now Hiram taking over at its own 25 again, facing another long field.
1st and 10 for the Terriers. They're going to go with 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right side for quarterback Sean Tejada, who turns and hands the ball off to his tailback, running right up the middle for a gain of about 1 on the play, as that middle of the Wolverine defense continues to play exceptionally well.
Yeah, the front 3, Jordan Karcheski, Dave Cower, the ends. Cower getting a piece of the tackle there. Kellen Taylor at nose tackle. But I like the play call from Hiram from the standpoint of at least keep Grove City honest with running. Again, the strength of the Hiram offense is the passing game. Tejada at quarterback and those receivers, but you can't be pass all the time. And also Johnson, he's a guy capable of popping one as well.
Single receiver to the left side, trips to the right side. They're going to run it again. Now Tejada pulls the ball out, tries to loop one downfield, caught in stride across the 40 and down near the 35-yard line. That's Devon Lewis, the senior, with his 33rd catch of the year.
Lewis getting behind the defense on the RPO play, run-pass option, ran right down the field. Nothing fancy about it. Tejada threw it out there, let his guy run underneath it, and it's a big gainer for Hiram to the 35. Nice catch and run.
Twins to the right and left. Johnson is the tailback. Tejada, 3-step drop. Standing in the pocket, taking a shot down the left side of the field, and that pass will fall incomplete. Had good coverage there. Double covered the deep route down the sideline.
Yeah, Mason Klaus with him step for step, and then over the top, the free safety Keegan Frazier there as well. Lewis was able to get behind the defender on the previous play. That time the Wolverines had him well covered.
And completion stops the clock at 9:13 to play in this opening quarter. 7-0 lead for the Wolverines. Terriers at the Grove City 35-yard line. And they'll go 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right side. They have a wing to the left side. They're going to run the football this time with R.J. Johnson. And R.J. Johnson gets about 3 yards down to the 32-yard line, and now the Terriers facing a 3rd down and long.
Nice job by inside linebacker Jack Jolly coming inside out, tracking him down from the backside. Looked like Johnson had some room there, but Jolly able to sniff it out and putting Hiram in 3rd and 7, likely 4-down territory for the Terriers.
3rd and 7 from the 32-yard line.
Going to put 3 receivers tight to the formation and a diamond set to the left, single receiver to the right side. Tejada to throw. Stepping up in the pocket, being pressured. He's going to be sacked back at the 41-yard line as that front continues to play exceptionally well for Grove City, and Dave Cower working in the backfield.
Yeah, Dave Cower from the defensive end spot. A lot of times we say the front three, they're not going to rack up huge numbers based on the way what they're doing technique-wise, but to that time, Cower able to overpower the lineman and drop Tejada for a loss, and now 4th down and long, 4th and 13.
Cower now 2.5 sacks on the season for the Wolverines. And we've got a flag on the play. Tejada going to take the shot downfield that drifts incomplete and out of bounds, and that flag came right at the snap of the football.
And there were a couple of Wolverines off, I think, from each side. I think they called it on Clemens, but Jack Jolly looked like he was off sides as well. And it's now going to be 4th and 8. Wolverines trying to time up the snap, and they were a bit early. And now we're going to have a timeout. Hiram wants to talk things over prior to 4th and 8.
So with the time on the field, we will step aside as well and come back with more on the Wolverines Sports Network.
If life came with a remote control, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Right back here on the Wolverine Sports Network after the timeout. Terriers facing a 4th and 8. And they're just going to quick kick this football down towards the goal line. And they threw the beanbag in the end zone. So that's going to be a touchback, and as it broke the plane of the end zone.
Yeah, that's the rule in college football. If the ball breaks the plane, no matter what, people watch the game on Sundays where somebody will have a foot there and save it, throw it back in, or whatever. But in college football, when the ball breaks the plane of the goal line, it's an automatic touchback. And so on the quick kick by Tejada, it turns out to be a net of 13 yards. The Wolverines will have it at the 20-yard line. Hiram had a couple of guys there. I think the Terriers got a little bit greedy. Instead of trying to pin Grove City to 3 or 2, they were really trying to get to the 1. Next thing, that ball has 2 points on it, takes a bigger hop, and it's a touchback.
Wolverines start from their 20-yard line. 2 receivers go to the right side. 1 to the left. Looks like Rankin is the single back as Wiley drops to throw. Time, taking the deep shot, looking for Sullivan, and it just went through his hands at the Terrier 30-yard line and incomplete. And really, Ethan Wiley showing off the big arm that he has.
Yeah, for a while looked like the defender who was back in coverage for Hiram was running the route, Ricardo Jimenez. But then all of a sudden you saw Sullivan kick into that extra gear. And good coverage by Jimenez, though, because he was able to maybe at least affect the vision a little bit instead of a big gain at 2nd and 10. But as you said, Wiley loves to show off the arm.
Going to run the ball with Rankin. Had a little hole over the middle, but he was pulled down from behind after about a 3-yard gain. That's Cole Teray again making the stop. He flashes all over the field for this Terrier defense.
He came on a blitz again. That blitz right up the middle between the center and guard, and almost overran the play. Did a good job to recover. Got some help from Aiden Smith, the defensive end. Now Grove City facing a 3rd down. Wolverines are 1-1 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 7.
Wiley to throw it. Flag flies on the play. He's going to take the shot downfield for McGroarty, and that sails over his head and incomplete. But we had a flag on the snap of the football. And we've got a player down for the Terriers back at the 11-yard line as well.
So it's going to be offside against Hiram. A couple of defenders were in the neutral zone at the snap.
So they're tending to the player for the Terriers that's down on the field at the 11-yard line, surrounded by the training staff, so can't quite get a number on who that player is. So they're over there taking a look at the player that is down. Exactly 7 minutes to play, and now will be a little bit of an easier third down conversion attempt coming up for Grove City.
It's Janato Taylor who was down. He was also the player flagged for the offsides. They could have gotten a couple of Hiram men there, but he's down, being tended to back at about the 17-yard line. So, 3rd and 2 upcoming for Grove City. And as you said, Mark, exactly 7 minutes to go in the first half. Hiram, obviously with using Terreri, the middle linebacker, looking to use him as a blitzer, a good run stuffer. We've seen it a couple of times. He has a tackle for loss and then brought down Rankin. Your 3rd and 2, I expect to see the Wolverines keep this one on the ground. We see Ian Quinn, the 6th offensive lineman. He's over near the huddle right now next to offensive line coach Derek Bainey on the far side. Assistant offensive line coach Justin Hartwig over there as well. As a lot of big boys over there. We see DeMary and Brunette as they continue to check on the Hiram defender, Taylor, here on the near side.
One game underway up in Cleveland. Geneva and Case Western Reserve, they are tied at 7 in the early stages of the second quarter.
And I believe that was a noon start today, or they moved up the start time, worried about weather. And they also have 2 NCAA soccer matches at Case Western tonight, later today and tonight. So they adjusted the start time, and Geneva looking to get to 6-4. Winner of that one's going to have a winning season. Case at 4-4-1. Geneva coming in at 5-4. So certainly a lot riding on that one. It's going to be 3rd and 2 for the Wolverines.
Reset the play clock back to 40 seconds. It winds. Going to have a single receiver in the formation to the right side. Got both fullbacks in there. Wiley's going to go under center this time. Going to send Burnett in motion. Give the ball to Ian DeMary. And DeMary came up short of the 30-yard line. So he'll be down to about the 29-yard line, and 4th and 1 for the Wolverines coming up.
Tamarius Mickens, the defensive tackle, 275, the sophomore out of Florida. He was there. He blew up that play. The Wolverines had no push at all, and they're going to keep the offense out there for this 4th and about 2 feet.
No hesitation by this Wolverine offense. They pretty much stayed right at the line of scrimmage. 4th and less than 1. Single receiver to the right. Both fullbacks and DeMary in the backfield. Burnett in motion. They give the ball to DeMary. First down and more as he's all the way down across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Offensive line did a great job on the right side to give him a lane to run through.
Yeah, that time they got push on the right side, and DeMary, a good cutback as well. We don't think of Ian being the niftiest runner. Certainly a lot of power to his game, but he was able to have a little bit of finesse there, just enough finesse, and he gets the first down. The Wolverines convert on 4th and short.
DeMary remains the tailback. Wiley dropping to throw. Has a clean pocket downfield for Sullivan. Makes a catch across the 40 and dives down to the Terrier 35-yard line. Daniel Sullivan with another big reception in his junior season. Give him 26 on the year.
Found a hole. The cornerback had bailed deep over there. Jimenez, you talk about playing 3 deep. He was deep. The safety underneath, there was a huge hole there. Sullivan sat down and gets down to the Hiram 35, gain of 29 yards. Sullivan's first catch. Ethan Wiley, 2 of 3 for 42 yards.
Sullivan to the right, McGroarty to the left side. Again, both fullbacks in there with Wiley and DeMary. Wiley to throw. Down and out for Sullivan, who came back to the football, made a nice catch for a good first down gain. And this Wolverine offense started to have some rhythm to it.
Sullivan, one of the few veterans coming into the season, had 2 good seasons, freshman, sophomore year, and again has been a key part of this passing game there. More of a deep threat his first 2 years. This year he has really shown what a complete receiver he is, short, intermediate, and the deep ball. That an intermediate one, a gain of 6 to the 29.
2nd and 4, 4:45, clock rolling in this opening quarter. Flag flies. Wiley fires downfield, and that's deflected away from the intended receiver. Cade Scott, the junior out of Utah, who has 5 interceptions on the year, knocked the ball away.
Flag over there. I don't know if it is offside. It'll be a first down. So Hiram lining up offsides, and that's a break for the Wolverines. They get the first down via penalty down to the 24-yard line.
4:37 to play in this opening quarter. Second penalty called on the Terriers in this opening quarter. So 1st and 10 for the Wolverines from the Hiram 24-yard line. Wiley takes the snap, settles in the pocket, looks for McGroarty, hit him with a frozen rope down inside the 15-yard line. Perfect ball placement to Seth McGroarty, where only he can make a play on the football.
Yeah, on the comeback route, McGroarty running off the corner, working against Scott, coming back and making the catch along the goal line to the 13-yard line. Gain of 11. The Wolverines are into the red zone.
Spot the football at the 18-yard line, 1st down and 10. Sullivan to the right side, McGroarty to the left. Got both fullbacks in there. Demiri is the tailback. Play clock down to 8 seconds. They run the ball with Ian Demiri, who cuts back, looking for the end zone, driving, and he is going to be just short of the goal line, down near the 1-yard line.
Another nice cutback from Demiri. Going right cutback, kind of make a 45-degree cut to his left. Only the the strong safety Mercil out there to make the stop, but Ian Demiri getting out into the open, and to bring him down, they're going to call it about the 2-yard line. So 1st and goal for the Wolverines.
Wiley turns, looks to throw, tries to lob in the corner to Sullivan, who caught the football, and it's good for a touchdown. Had to wait to make sure Sullivan got both feet down. And for the junior, Daniel Sullivan, his 5th receiving touchdown of the season.
What a beautiful pass from Wiley, using all that real estate, going to the back corner. The ball's in the middle of the field, so you have about 25, 26 yards with which to work. 10 yards to the back corner, and just an excellent route. Wasn't bad coverage, but Wiley a perfect throw to make it 13-0.
Lane on for the extra point, 30 of 31 on the season for the freshman. Lambert to snap it. Ellis will do the holding. Snap down, extra point on the way, and it is up, and it is good. 3:15 to play in the opening quarter. It is Grove City 14 and Hiram 0. We will step aside for a quick break and be back with more on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Questions. Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Wolverines finding the end zone on Daniel Sullivan's team-leading 5th touchdown reception. That is the 7th thrown by Wiley on the season, and now they will kick the football back to the Terriers. Lane with the ball at the 35-yard line, gets his foot into this one. This one going to be just into the end zone for a touchback, and 3 kickoffs for Lane and 3 touchbacks, as he's handled all the kicking duties so well this year as a freshman.
Yeah, and you see right there the 3 touchbacks, and there was another touchback that was certainly critical too. Instead of Hiram pinning Grove City inside the 3 or maybe the 2 on the quick kick, they allowed the ball to get into the end zone, so Grove City began that last drive at the 20. Turns out to be a 9-play, 80-yard drive that used 4:30. But, again, plays like that, and now Hiram starting at the 25, again, because of the 3rd straight touchback.
So 1st and 10 for Tejada and the Terriers. Puts a man in motion, so there will be 5 receivers in an empty backfield. Turns the football over, tries to lob it downfield, and that pass just sailed. Looking for his intended target downfield, and over his head, out of bounds and incomplete.
Yeah, Kevin Dix going downfield. Was Jack Jolly in coverage with him. obviously something formationally that Hiram did. Ended up with Jolly man for man, step for step, man to man against Dixon. He was right there. Good coverage by the Wolverine inside linebacker, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Tejada throwing the football. Well, 1 for 4 and has been sacked twice here in this first quarter of action. Running back next to him. Now they'll put a receiver in motion. He'll drop to throw on 2nd down. Fires way too tall and incomplete. That throw into the Wolverine sideline. Dix again, the intended receiver out of Akron Firestone High School, and it brings up 3rd down and 10. 3 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Wolverines with a 14-0 lead over the Terriers here on the road for the first time in Hiram in a little while. Terriers going to break the huddle, come to the line of scrimmage. We'll have 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right side. Single back with Tejada, who looks to throw. Rolling out to that outside, trying to set his feet, throw across his body deep downfield. And that pass is going to be incomplete near the 45-yard line. It'll bring up a 4th down and 10 for the Terriers.
Tejada took a big hit at the end of the play from Caleb Brubaker, who was applying the pressure. And throwing downfield into double coverage. Frazier there along with Klaus. Klaus, another pass break up. Or check, that was Davidson, excuse me. The 3 and the 9 on the jersey getting rumpled up a little bit. But good defense from the Wolverines, and Hiram will have to punt it away.
Luke Hoskins, the freshman punter. Bowden Davidson back at his own 45-yard line. Snap back to Hoskins, rushes on. He gets the kick away, short, but will take a Terrier roll across the 40. And this football is going to roll all the way down to the 35-yard line. So Hoskins gets a nice roll, and Grove City will start off 1st down and 10 from their own 35 with 2:37 to play in this opening quarter.
40 yards on the punt, but still pretty good field position for Grove City, starting at the 35-yard line. In fact, for Grove City, the drives today, the 48, the 20, now the 35, so pretty much about right on average for the day.
It'll be Sullivan to the right, McGordy to the left. We've seen a lot of this formation with both fullbacks in there, and Ian Demiri, the tailback. Demiri's carried it 4 times for 23 yards. Snap the football to Wiley. Fakes, takes the shot, double move by Sullivan. Had his man beat, but just a little too much air under the throw by Wiley. And it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Sullivan definitely beat the cornerback there, the stop and go, but it's Grove City going with the heavy package, had both fullbacks and Demary in there, the play action, and Sullivan was there, but passed a little bit too hot.
They'll have 1 fullback check out. Wyatt Barzak, the senior wide receiver, into the formation. He'll be lined up to the right side with Sullivan and McGordy. Chase Rankin, the tailback, about 2 yards deep behind Ethan Wiley. Play clock under 10 seconds. Rankin gets the carry. Big hole across the 40, 45, 50, across the 45, and dives down near the 43-yard line. Another big gain for Chase Rankin, who's having a great opening quarter.
6 carries, 60 yards now, but there is a flag back upfield, and this 22-yard gain is going to be wiped out. 2 flags in the middle of the field. They'll get the Wolverines for holding.
So take away that big run by Rankin, and that'll be the 2nd penalty on the Wolverines here in this opening quarter. Offensive line has done a really good job opening up some big holes for these Wolverine backs to run through here in the opening quarter. So 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left side. Burnett's the fullback, Rankin the tailback. Play clock now down under 15 seconds. 2nd and 20 facing the Wolverines. Wiley takes the snap. He'll drop to throw. Time in the pocket again, going to take the shot for Sullivan downfield and just dislodged at the last second. But there's a penalty flag at the 25-yard line.
And they're going to get pass interference as the corner Jimenez, he came around. He a little bit early. All things considered, it's not a bad penalty because he prevented a 60-yard gain. But it'll be automatic 1st down, 15 yards and the 1st down out to the 40 for the Wolverines. Wiley really letting it fly there. And it's good coverage, but then Jimenez, he got there a step early, and it's a first down for the Wolverines.
Sullivan and Jimenez really battling here in this opening quarter. Good to see the sportsmanship, picking each other up, dusting each other off, and heading back to their huddles. So 1st and 10 for the Wolverines after the penalty, now at their own 40-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left side, Rankin the lone tailback. Wiley's going to throw it. Firing middle, and that pass is intercepted. Took it away from Penna. And that pass intercepted by the secondary. That's Bryce Krigel, who has his 3rd interception of the year for the Terriers.
Nice play there. Like as you said, he just reached in there and took it away. And certainly a much-needed play for this Hiram defense. And a good job there. He just reached in there at the last second. It was like hands coming out of nowhere to get the interception. Hiram gets the first takeaway of the afternoon.
That is the 5th interception thrown for Wiley on the season as the Terriers take over 1st and 10 with 1:35 to play from their own 46-yard line. Tejada overlooks the Wolverine defense, showing pressure from the outside. They will run the football right into that gap where the linebacker Nick Clements was able to get upfield, and they hold Johnson to a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Clements able to force it back inside, and waiting right there, Jack Jolly and Caleb Brubaker for the gain of 1 for Johnson. So far, Hiram in the red in terms of rushing yardage, 6 carries -3. Of course, sack in there, which affects things. But good job by the Wolverine run defense, which has really been stout this second half of the season. You talked before kickoff about this Wolverine defense. It starts with stopping the run.
Tejada dropping to throw, looking downfield, trying to loop one downfield for his receiver that came open. That's looking for Lewis, and the pass falls incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Devon Lewis has been a problem for the Wolverines. He got open again there, but he was 2 or 3 steps behind the secondary. That pass just a little bit long. If it's on target, probably 1st and goal at worst for Hiram, but instead it's incomplete. Now 3rd and 8, and the Terriers are 0 for 3 on 3rd down today. But important here for the Wolverines. Get this stop, get off the field after the takeaway at midfield by the Hiram defense.
They're going to empty the backfield with 2 receivers to the left and 3 to the right side. Play clock approaching 5 seconds to go. Tejada claps, takes the snap. He'll drop to throw. Standing tall in the pocket, now feeling the pressure, and he's going to be sacked for the 3rd time here in this opening quarter as the pocket just collapsed around the quarterback.
Yeah, Karcheski, Jolly, Clemens all in there. Cower, if you could cut a sack 4 ways, you would right there. It's a loss back inside the 40 to the 38, a loss of 9, and see what Hiram elects to do. Terriers do not have to run a play. The play clock is at 23. The game clock's at 22.
Now looking towards the sidelines, facing a 4th down and long, and now with the game clock rolling under 10 seconds, it looks like that is what they will elect to do here. Let this final 5 seconds work off the clock, and we will come to the end of the opening quarter here this afternoon. After 1 on the Wolverine Sports Network, it is Grove City 14 and Hiram 0. We'll be back after this quick timeout.
Mama, what does the chicken say?
Chicken. Oh, okay.
When the wolf?
Oh, a wolf. Ooh!
What about the tiny dog? Cat? Owl? Dolphin? What does the turkey say? Whale?
No, whale sound.
Do the giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Okay. Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Fourth and long for the Terriers as we begin this second quarter. It'll be Luke Hoskins on to punt for the third time here this afternoon, and Bowden Davidson back at his own 30-yard line.
Wolverines might be coming after this one, Mark.
Play clock now down under 15 seconds. Hoskins takes the low snap, rushes on. The flag will fly on the play, and Bowden Davidson made the catch at the 30-yard line, and penalty thrown here to stop the play.
So a false start and will push Hiram back 5 yards.
So now 4th and 23 facing the Terriers. Bowden Davidson going to move up to about his 36-yard line. Hoskins standing at his 20-yard line. Snap this one shoulder high. Rush on, just does get the kick away. Bowden Davidson will back away from this one. Again, it's going to take a wonderful roll for the Terriers all the way inside the 5, and that's going to be down at the 2-yard line. And that's that tough decision as a punt returner to try and come up on it and make a difficult catch or let it roll. And this time the Terriers got a good roll.
Yeah, and the punt came out like a 2-iron, had really no hang time, and Davidson went over, but by the time he got there, it hit the ground, and rather than trying to field it on the hop, he let it go, but 35 yards in roll. It is a 66-yard punt for Hoskins, and now Grove City pinned back at its 1-yard line.
Single receiver, looks like it'll be Seth McGroarty. And have Ian DeMary in at the tailback spot. DeMary 4 carries, 23 yards in that opening quarter. Burnett in motion. DeMary's going to get the handoff. He'll just hammer his way into the line of scrimmage. He's going to get across the 5 and out near the 7-yard line. That short yardage package has done so well over the years for the Wolverines. Now, we've talked about how it's, short yardage is used in multiple ways, going in for the score, but also going away from your own end zone. It's a gain of 6. It is 2nd down and 4 for the Wolverines. DeMary remains the tailback with Wiley at the quarterback spot. He'll hand the ball off to Ian DeMary, trying to bounce to the outside, and DeMary needed 4. He got about 3. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and short. So they're going to, that last spot, they gave him the 1st down. Looked like he was a little shy of that 1st down marker, but it moves the chains for the Wolverines.
He needed the 11. They give him the 11.5, so it'll be 5 on a 1st down, and big 1st down right there. If nothing else, getting away from the goal line, and now a new set of downs, but nothing fancy, just Ian DeMary.
Again, it'll be DeMary, 3rd straight carry for the senior with them blocking to the outside. This will be just a short gain and bring up 2nd down and long.
Got to thinking, go back to last year's finale. Wolverines taking on a team in Navy jerseys. Ian DeMary deep in his own end, 88-yard run down or over at Westminster, tying the longest run in program history.
13:05 to play here in this first half of action. Grove City 14 and Hiram 0. Wolverines facing a 2nd down and 7. Wiley looks over the defense. He'll hand the football off this time to DeMary, and DeMary able to spin his way close to another 1st down, and they are going to give him the 1st down and move the sticks.
Ian DeMary, full head of steam, and you never know from week to week who's going to be the guy in the Wolverine backfield. First half of the season was DeMary. We saw more of Chase Rankin. Today it's been Ian DeMary with 8 carries so far. Now he'll check out and Chase Rankin back in, but those two have really complemented each other all well, and we've seen that manifest itself today.
Daniel Sullivan now the receiver to the right side with Rankin in the tailback spot. Now McGroarty to the left. Terriers showing some pressure. Wiley stepping into a throw down the middle, hits McGroarty at midfield, made a man miss and dives down to the 45-yard line. Ethan Wiley really stepped into that throw to Seth McGroarty deep downfield.
Yeah, to be able to make that deep throw, the deep in, and put it right on the money. Then McGroarty, some nice moves to avoid a couple tacklers, get a few more yards. Gavin Cruiser, the linebacker, hustling downfield to make the tackle, but pick up a 32 from McGroarty. Long play of the afternoon for the Wolverines, and they are into Hiram territory.
Going to go single receiver to the left, now 2 to the right side with Chase Rankin, the tailback. Play clock under 15. Wiley setting to throw. Fires in between 2 defenders. That pass caught by Sam Penna for his second reception of the afternoon and down to the Terrier 29-yard line.
You know, sometimes when a baseball pitcher, when you say he has good stuff, Ethan Wiley has the good stuff today. Whatever he had for breakfast, he has a little extra juice in what's already a strong arm, and 16 more yards of the completion to Penna. Stedman on another tackle for Hiram.
2 receivers left. Sullivan to the right side. It's Burnett, the fullback. Wiley takes the snap, gives it to Chase Rankin across the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown to Chase Rankin from 29 yards out, his second of the afternoon for the Wolverines.
How about a 99-yard touchdown drive, Mark? 7 plays, 99 yards, and Rankin his second touchdown, and the Wolverines extend the lead. But after Hiram, the great job of pinning the Wolverines deep, getting out from the goal line, the DeMary runs, big pass to McGroarty to get beyond midfield, Penna, and now Rankin. Good complementary football, a good complementary offensive football from the Wolverines.
Lane, 31 of 32 and extra points on the season. Lambert will snap it. Ellis will do the holding. Play clock approaching 5 seconds. Good snap and hold, and Lane's kick is up and good. 10:55 to play in the opening half. It is Grove City 21 and the Terriers 0. You are listening to the Wolverines Sports Network.
Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. It's that time of year again. Buy one, get one free windshield wiper sale. You heard correct. BOGO windshield wiper sale with any of our Valvoline full-service oil change through the end of the year. So get ready for Old Man Winter today before he arrives. BOGO windshield wiper sale through December 31st. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come to us for the experience.
Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out. It's that easy.
So a 21-point lead for the Wolverines. And we remind you, for every Grove City College touchdown and turnover caused this season, Northwestern Mutual Gold Financial is proud to partner with Grove City College football to support the Grove City Area United Way. Gold Financial, located at 160 South Broad Street in Grove City.
They've added 3 more to it. I believe the number was at 60 when I talked to John Grazer, one of the proprietors of Gold Financial, the other night.
Lane's kick is away, high and over, and this one he'll run up on at the 12-yard line, across the 15 to 20, and down across the 25 to the 26-yard line by Ricardo Jimenez, the native of Florida.
And good tackle down there by Brock Belmont, one of the special teams aces for the Wolverines, cutting him down at the 26-yard line, and Hiram will take it there.
So first and 10 for the Terriers with 10:45 to play here in the half. Jimenez in the offense coming onto the field. Halftime now in Cleveland. Geneva with a 23-9 lead over the Spartans. Tejada claps, takes the snap, stands in the pocket, fires downfield. Receiver makes the catch across the 30. Down near the 32-yard line before being driven back. That's Devon Lewis, the senior from Columbus, out of Lancaster High School, making the play. That'll be a gain of 7 and sets up a second down and 3. Tejada takes the low snap, gives it to his running back this time. That's Isaiah Livingstone, who's checked in. And he'll be stopped right near the line of scrimmage, and this will bring up a 3rd down and 3 for the Terriers.
First carry of the day for Livingstone, and ran right into Jordan Karcheski, and remains now 3 yards to go, 3rd and 3. Hiram 0 for 4 on 3rd down today.
Single receiver to the right, trips to the left side. We've got movement up front. Here comes the flag. They're just going to stop this play. And the initial indication is on the Terriers, but we'll have to wait for the call.
Well, now maybe, now they're pointing both ways.
So they're going to call that on the Grove City defense, and that penalty will give the Terriers a 1st down.
Yeah, a couple Wolverines, itching to get in there, get into the neutral zone, and It is a 5-yard mark-off, and Hiram gets a first down, second first down of the afternoon for the Terriers.
9:45 to play in the half. First and 10 for the Terriers from their 38-yard line. Grove City on top of this one, 21-0 here in the second quarter. Single receiver to the right, 2 to the left side. They're going to have a wing to the left. They will fake it to Livingston. Tejada's going to flip it to his man across the 40 and down to the 42-yard line. That's Dylan Hargis, the junior tight end, who made the reception.
And nice play design there. Hargis blocking momentarily and sliding out into the flat. And that short passing game can be a nice substitute when you're struggling to run the ball. You know, it's a safe play, and you get 4 yards, and you get your tight end involved, getting some more guys involved as well. Keep an eye on Lewis lining up slot left here, Mark. Or slot right, excuse me.
Second down and 6. That's Hargis who goes in motion, now splits out. Tejada to throw, looking downfield. That pass is going to be caught, broke the initial tackle, able to get upfield, and that is a first down for the Terriers on Devon Lewis's reception.
You know, Lewis so slippery on the slot. We saw his ability to go deep, but he's also very good working underneath, and that's exactly what he did there, and picks up a first down. So back-to-back first downs for Hiram on this drive as the Terriers look to cut into this margin.
First and 10, ball spotted at the Terrier 49-yard line. Tejada twins to each side of the formation, and Isaiah Livingstone, the tailback. Tejada drops the throw, fires middle. That pass found an opening in the secondary, and is complete across the 40 and down to the 37-yard line. That's Kevin Dix, the junior receiver, who found an opening in the secondary, and the stop made by Bowden Davidson.
You're seeing Hiram getting some rhythm going offensively. Just a little bit more confidence there. Some more. It's not up tempo, but they have upped the tempo, and now into Grove City territory.
Going to throw it again, and that pass is going to be caught by the tight end, who lined up as a receiver in the slot. It's Dylan Hargis with his second reception on this drive for the Terriers.
Yeah, looking like Devon Lewis. They're just settling down underneath, and third first down of the drive for the Terriers.
Down to 7:20 to play here in the first half. One receiver to the right, trips to the left side. Tejada takes the snap. 3-step drop, filling the pressure, rolling out to the outside, and he's going to fire towards the sidelines. And that's going to be a good catch again by Dylan Hargis, the junior tight end. But there's a flag back at the 31-yard line.
And that's going to wipe out an 8-yard gain. Nice catch by Hargis, but they get the holding, and it'll be 1st and 20.
Still a little bit of snow on the sidelines in front of us. It was a kind of hit and miss around Ohio earlier this week. We had about 4 inches in my neighborhood last week. So 1st and 20, facing the Terriers. Play clock now down under 20 seconds. Single receiver to the right side, trips to the left. Isaiah Livingston's been the back on this drive for the Terriers. Tejada fakes it to him, hit as he throws. That pass is going to be caught once again by Dylan Hargis, and he's down near the 25-yard line.
Good job to get the penalty yardage back. Caleb Brubaker shot through untouched on a blitz. Tejada stood in there, knew he was going to take a big hit, found his tight end, and a nice pickup on 1st and long for Hiram. It'll be 2nd and 11. Tejada, he's shown a lot of fortitude there. He's taken some hits, but keeps firing, and he's been able to find an array of receivers. It's been Hargis emerging here on this drive. 3 catches for 26 yards.
Receiver going to come in motion to the right side. Tejada stands in the pocket, going to throw across the middle. And that pass caught by Devon Lewis. And it's been the short passing game that's been very successful for the Terriers on this drive.
It's almost as if Hiram has decided, you know what, we can't run the ball. We're not going to waste our time with it, go to the short passing game. And one of the strengths of the Grove City defense certainly is run defense. Well, if you don't run the ball, it can help neutralize the run defense.
Tejada takes the low snap as a flag flies. He'll look for the end zone, and that pass is going to be intercepted by Montgomery. He'll just go down on a slide at the 10-yard line.
And he knew it was a free play for the quarterback as well. And it's now going to be 3rd and short. And Tejada doing a good job. It's 3 times that Grove City has jumped today. I think he went to the hard count that time. So move it to the 15, and now 3rd and a yard for the Terriers as they're on the move here.
0 for 4 in converting 3rd downs. This is a 3rd down and 1.
They haven't had too many 3rd and 1s, though.
Trying to get everybody settled into place. Play clock now down under 20 seconds. Tejada has the tailback. Livingston with him. He will look to throw the quick pass. That is intercepted across the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Cuts back to the 50 with some help down the sidelines. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Mason Klaus. He takes that interception to the end zone. The 23rd interception for this Wolverine defense on the season.
97 yards on the run back, the 2nd longest interception return in Grove City history. Mason Klaus, what a year he has had, the sophomore, intercepting that one at the 3 and taking it all the way back to make it 27-0 Grove City. This one, Hiram had all the momentum, looking to get on the board. Hiram electing to go to the air on 3rd and 1. The Wolverines come up, as you said, with the college football high 23rd interception of the season.
3rd for Mason Klaus. Now laying on for the extra point, and that kick is up, and the kick is good. A 5:05 to play in the half. It is now Grove City 28 and Hiram 0. You are listening to the Wolverine Sports Network.
Is this how you feed a hamster? I think so. Is my homework right? I think so. Is this milk still good? I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. Know. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. Know by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This Wolverine secondary continues to come up with big plays. Mason Klaus with the interception returned back for a touchdown, and now Brady Lane on to kick the ball back to the Terriers.
Mason's needle was starting to get on E as he got up to about the 20-yard line, but he had enough blocking, and he was able to kind of gear down and get into the end zone. But Mason Klaus, the big interception to not only snuff out the scoring opportunity, but then to put 6 on the board for the Wolverines. What a sophomore season for the Red Bank Valley grad.
Lane ready to kick this ball back to the Terriers. It's high and over end. And for the first time this season, a kickoff by Brady Lane will go out of bounds.
As we look at the flags, the wind doesn't appear to be blowing too strong, but you look at the officials' pants and some other things, it is a little bit windier. The trees across the way, and you can see that ball, it just took a left turn out of bounds. It goes out at the 10, and Hiram will take the ball to the 35-yard line with 5:05 to go in the first half.
Grove City, a 28-0 lead over the Terriers, wrapping up the regular season here this afternoon, and then time to wait and wonder with the selection show at 5 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, the Wolverines will have a pretty good idea tonight once all the games wrap up and some of the NPI where the NPI information is simulated. There are a lot of simulators and people keep track of that they're able to dictate, or they can kind of determine everything. And we'll see where the Wolverines shake out. They are squarely a bubble team coming into Week 11.
Tejada to throw it on first down. Steps into a throw that had a man open down near the 40-yard line. And once again, that's Devon Lewis, who was able to turn back to the football and make the catch.
Picks up 25 yards. Devon Lewis, 5 catches, 82 yards already. Tejada, 9 of 16. You can see why he's put up such good numbers this year. He can make all the throws.
First and 10 from the Grove City 40-yard line. Trips to the right. Single receiver left side. Now they'll put Hargis in a motion. He sets up as a wing. They're going to run the ball on to first down across the 40 and down to the 39-yard line. That is Alex Bars, a running back that's a sophomore out of Waller, Texas.
Ryan Montgomery, the strong safety there in run support. Jack Jolly finished him off. So Hiram, which has really been was pass happy on that last drive, and it was very successful in terms of getting the ball down the field, changing things up. The third different running back we've seen today. Johnson started. Livingstone got one carry. Now Bars gets a yard on his first carry of the afternoon.
Second at 9. We go under 4 minutes to play in the half. 2 receivers to the right, wing to the right side, 1 receiver to the left. Tejada dropping to throw, looking down the seam for the receiver who was pulled down at the 10-yard line. Noah Wheeler's going to get called for that penalty as there was separation, and rather than give up the touchdown, he pulled the receiver down.
Yeah, Kevin Dix, he won that battle. He had him beat. Wheeler reached out and grabbed him, and likely pass interference, could be holding, but likely pass interference, and it's going to be 15 yards and a first down. But heads-up play by Wheeler, giving up 15 points is a lot, or 15 yards is a lot better than giving up 39 yards and a touchdown.
5th penalty called on the Wolverines, 5 on the Terriers as well so far in this first half of action.
Grove City coming in least penalized team in the league, but 5 penalties for 40 yards today. A couple of the offsides. There was a holding in there, then the pass interference.
Alex Bars remains the running back. He is to the left of the quarterback, Sean Tejada. Man comes in motion. Now reverses behind the quarterback. Tejada looking to throw. Stepping up in the pocket. He's going to be wrapped up, and he's going to be pulled down for another Grove City sack. This is their 4th of the first half.
Kellen Taylor wrapping up the freshman nose tackle from Penn Trafford. Known mostly for the run stuffing at the nose tackle spot, but he knows what to do when he gets his hands on the quarterback and drops Tejada for a loss of 3 back out to the 27-yard line.
Give Taylor now 3.5 sacks in his freshman season. So it sets up a 2nd down and 12 for the Terriers as we approach 3 minutes to play in the first half.
We think about the Wolverines certainly being a veteran team, especially on defense, but the contributions from guys like Taylor and Clemens on defense, Brady Lane in the kicking game, these young guys really doing well.
Tejada going to run the football with Alex Bars, and Bars had no running room to go whatsoever. And now a whistle and a timeout to stop the clock with 2:41 to play here in the first half. It is Grove City 28 and Hiram 0. We'll take a quick break and be back with more on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
2:41 to play in the half. It is Grove City 28 and Hiram 0. Wolverines with all 3 of their timeouts. The Terriers using their first. They have a pair left up on the board.
I believe that was a Grove City timeout, Mark.
Okay.
So each team with 2 timeouts now.
So Grove City taking the timeout defensively, trying to get the stop here on 3rd down and potentially get the football back.
And they're putting a few seconds back on the clock also. So it's going to be at 2:44 after the Grove City timeout.
So 2:44 to play in the half. The Terriers will go with a trips formation to the right, a single receiver to the left side. Dick's in the backfield. Now he'll go in motion to the left side. So the backfield empty for Tejada, who drops to throw. Pressured as he throws. He's going to be hit, and the ball comes loose. And the Wolverines have come up with the loose football. So a strip sack for this Wolverine defense, and they've got the ball back with 2:36 to play in the half.
Jack Jolly with the force. Kellen Taylor the recovery, and the Wolverines will take over. They took the timeout trying to conserve clock. The defense comes up with the second takeaway of the afternoon. Jack Jolly with the 5th sack for the Wolverines, and they have it at the 32-yard line.
So 2:36 to play. A pair of timeouts left for the Wolverines. It's Rankin at the tailback spot. One receiver to the left, 2 to the right side. Rankin now going to move to the left side of Ethan Wiley. Play clock under 14. Wiley dropping to throw, fires downfield, and that pass skipped incomplete as Sullivan had to come back to the football, and it hit the turf at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, that one looked like the wind just knocked it down. Again, we can see the big trees across the way. They're blowing in Grove City's face, and that time Wiley's throw unable to cut through the wind.
So 2:30 to play. It brings up a 2nd down and 10 for this Grove City offense. Wiley overlooks the defense. Takes the ball, gives it to Rankin. Chase Rankin going to lower the shoulder and dive down to the 40-yard line, but a flag back at the 32. So this penalty flag at the 32-yard line. It's going to be a hold on the Wolverines, and that's going to back them up and put them behind the sticks.
Yeah, right at the point where Rankin cut up field. The hold, and move it back to the 22, 2nd and 20.
Play clock now down under 20 seconds. 3 receivers in the formation. Rankin is the tailback. Wiley to throw. Stepping up in the pocket, looking downfield, looking for Penna. Now Sullivan broke free behind the defender, came back to the football, and the side judge comes in and says that is a good catch for Daniel Sullivan. And that is going to be right just shy of the 40-yard line at the 41. And one of the coaches came in and said no, but the official walking that sideline says he got the foot in bounds for the big reception.
Yeah, both officials. You had the side judge downfield, the line judge on the near side, or the head linesman, excuse me, they get together, and it is a good catch to the 42. It reached the 2-minute timeout.
So 2-minute timeout on the field gives us the chance to step aside and be back with more on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
First and 10, Wolverines. They will snap it and run the ball with Rankin across the 40 with help across the 35 and down to the 34-yard line. Offensive line really doing a great job here in this first half, leading the way for both running backs. So this will bring up a 2nd down and 2 for the Wolverines. Game clock now down to 1:35. As they run the ball with Chase Rankin again. Rankin down to the 30-yard line. He will pick up a Grove City first down. So they stop the clock at a 1:29 to play in the half as they move the chains. And for Chase Rankin, that was his 7th carry of the game, now up over the 70-yard mark, averaging over 11 yards per carry. Wiley turns the hips and looks to throw, fires downfield, and that pass is going to be caught by McGroarty. at the 21-yard line, came back to the football, but it's a yard shy of the first down.
Good job by McGordy to get his hands under that one. This is a bit underthrown, but again, going into the wind. Certainly the Wolverines now probably in field goal range in spite of the wind, but looking for more.
Give the ball to Chase Rankin. Rankin across the 15, inside the 10. He'll be down to the 9-yard line. It's first and goal, Grove City.
What a kick-out block on the near side by fullback Anthony Brunette. Gave him a big lane, and Chase Rankin gives the Wolverines goal to go.
Right back to the line. Plenty of time on the play clock at 25 seconds. Wiley to throw. Looks into the end zone, and that is a touchdown catch for Sam Penna. And for Penna, that's his second touchdown catch of the season. And the Wolverines are back in the end zone.
Nice route by Penna, the quick slant. Wiley looked outside, then looked back over the middle and saw Sam Penna, the Richland grad. His high school's playing for district title tonight down in Altoona. And Sam Penna, first year at Grove City, gets touchdown number 2.
So Lambert will snap the extra point. It's Ellis to do the holding. And Brady Lane on for the extra point. Little high snap by Lambert. Ellis gets it down, and the extra point by Lane is up and good. 33 seconds to go in the half. It is Grove City 35 and the Terriers 0. We're back after a quick break on the Wolverines Sports Network.
It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Sam Penna with his second touchdown reception of the season from senior Ethan Wiley. And a Grove City lead of 35-0 with 33 seconds to go here in the first half.
Wolverines in the first half now 299 yards, 136 on the ground, 163 through the air. The Wolverines love that offensive balance.
Lane runs up to the football at the 35-yard line, gets the foot into this one. And this one is going to take a bounce and will be covered up by one of the Terriers, as that was a precariously loose live football on that far sideline.
Yeah, it hit at the 5-yard line and checked back upfield about 5-6 yards. The return man, Jimenez, thought it was going to go out of bounds, and it looked like it was, and then it kind of bounced and rolled and stopped right there. There are a lot of golfers who would love a ball to check up like that on a green, and it turns out Hiram has it back at the 12-yard line. Looked like it would be out of bounds and have it at the 35 instead, pinned back on a kick that took a Wolverine bounce.
So 1st and 10 for the Terriers from their 12-yard line. Play clock now down under 10 seconds. Game clock at 32 seconds. Tejada just takes the snap, and he will elect to take a knee as they will send both teams to the sidelines in a complete first half of play by the Wolverines in all phases.
Yeah, certainly, giving up some passing yardage, but coming up with the takeaways. Klaus, the 97-yard interception return. Good balance offensively. Other than the kickoff out of bounds, some pretty good special teams play. Again, the Wolverines, some things to iron out, but all in all, up 35-0 at the half on the road. A lot to like about as Grove City looks to remain undefeated on the road in league play this year.
Lots to get to at halftime. We'll look at scores around the PAC. We'll update you on Wolverine athletics, as we always do, and we will get you caught up on all of those things after this timeout at the half. Grove City 35 and Hiram 0 on the Wolverine Sports Network.
We're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn, but not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids, without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Halftime here on the Wolverine Sports Network. Grove City with a 35-0 lead over Hiram here on the road. While we have a moment, we'll take a look at the PAC scoreboard. This one started earlier this afternoon up in Cleveland, and as they play in the early stages of the fourth quarter, it is Geneva 30 and Case Western Reserve 16 from Meadville. Allegheny leading Bethany by a score of 21-0. That game is about 4 minutes to play in the half. Westminster with a 41-0 lead over St. Vincent in Latrobe. That is just before halftime. And at W&J leading Teal this afternoon by a score of 53-0. That game is in the second quarter. And what is the final week of the regular season in the PAC and around Division III football?
Hard to believe, Mark. It seems like just yesterday that we were in Cortland, New York for the opener on a day that was, I think it might have been cooler in Cortland that day than it is today here at Hiram. It was certainly wetter up there, but here we are, week 11, and a lot of postseason implications in terms of who's going to, perhaps the playoffs, bowl games, etc. A lot to be ironed out here in week 11, not just in the PAC, but around the country, and in some cases, what happens in the East affects what happens in the West or in the South or the North or whatever. So a lot going on, a lot of eyeballs on this game, with Grove City certainly being on the playoff bubble. And, it's all in all, the Wolverines are doing what they need to do. But we'll see how things shake out. But that Geneva game, that's a big one for a lot of reasons. It's Gino DeMarco's final game as the head coach, final regular season game. But a win gets Geneva to 6-4 and probably into the ECAC Bowl conversation then. So that would be something certainly keep an eye on. Now 36-16, Geneva adding on to the lead. So the GTs wanting to send out Coach DeMarco out a winner today. And up at Case. We saw Case Western last week, Mark. That's a good football team. And to be able to put up that many points and yards against that defense, you're having a good offensive day. So, hey, hats off to Geneva. And that's the one surprise of the day. None of the others particularly surprising. W&J, which will be going to the playoffs next week as the automatic qualifier out of the PAC, on its way to clinching the conference title outright with that big lead over Teal.
And as we like to talk about, especially this time of the year, it's been a busy week for Wolverine athletics.
It certainly has. Busy with a capital B. Starting off, the Grove City soccer teams, of course, winning the PAC titles last week. Both teams, Mark, were in the NCAA tournament. And tough day for both of them yesterday. Both teams fell 1-0. Grove City's women falling to Illinois Tech, who was a Final 16 team last year. Illinois Tech scoring with about 25 minutes to go in regulation to get a 1-0 win up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Great season for the Wolverine women, though, 13-5-2. They were certainly well represented on the all-PAC teams as Tori Stevenson, Offensive Player of the Year. Hannah Costa, Junior Defender, Defensive Player of the Year. Tori Stevenson's a junior, by the way. Lauren Muhana, the Newcomer of the Year in the PAC. And then head coach Melissa Lammy, Coach of the Year. So Grove City sweeping the All-PAC individual awards and a very fine season, but ends in the first round of the NCAA tournament Friday 1-0. The Grove City men, they won their first PAC title in 20 years last week. And they went to the NCAA tournament, played Calvin yesterday up at Hobart College in Geneva, New York. And in double overtime, Calvin scoring to get the win 1-0. Outstanding season for the Wolverines, 15-3-2. They were also well represented on the All-PAC teams. Noah Gray, Junior Midfielder Offensive Player of the Year. Junior Defender Colton Hudson, the Defensive Player of the Year. And head coach Mike Dreves, for the second time in his distinguished career, the PAC Coach of the Year in men's soccer. The cross-country teams, they are closing the season today at the Mid-East Regional in Newville, Pennsylvania, down near Carlisle. Dickinson College, the host for that. Looking to get results on those, but the men and women competing down there at the regional championships. The Grove City volleyball team, a couple of wins this week in the PAC tournament, going on the road Tuesday night in the quarterfinals at W&J Mark. Wolverines lost the first set, won the next two. Hiram wins the fourth. So it was 2-2 going to the fifth. W&J up 14-12. Of course, you played a 15. W&J had match point 3 times. The Wolverines warded it off each time. They win the fifth set, 17-15 to advance. And then on Thursday in the semis up at Teal, Grove City sweeping the Tomcats. 6th straight match between Grove City and Teal in which the road team has won. Grove City winning in 3 to advance to tonight's championship match here at Hiram. Hiram, the number 1 seed out of the North Division. Grove City out of the number 4 team from the North. All 4 North teams won in the quarterfinals on Tuesday night, by the way. So those teams will meet tonight in the championship. Hiram rallied for a 5-set win over Westminster, just behind us in Price Gymnasium Thursday night to get the win in 5. And it is Hiram and Grove City tonight at 7. PAC Sports Network will have the call on that. Rob McKinney and Nick Schmieg, our friends with the PAC Sports Network, will have the call as the Wolverines will look to earn their first PAC title in volleyball since 2001. And that's 7 o'clock tonight against Hiram. Of course, that's fall sports. Winter sports, they're underway as well. The swimming and diving teams, they are hosting Worcester today in the James E. Longnecker Pool in a non-conference dual meet. The basketball teams, they have been getting underway as well. The Grove City women's basketball team fell last night to Baldwin Wallace 75-57. Wolverines are playing today against, let's see, they are playing Mount Aloysius. Let's see if we can get you an update on that. They're playing Mount Aloysius at Worcester, and PAC scoreboard is assigned to jump all over the place. The Grove City men also in action. They're playing Lancaster Bible down at Geneva, and at last report, the Wolverines had an early lead. It's now 12-7, Grove City on top, and we will look to get you an update on the women's basketball game as well. So the basketball teams, they are in action. Conference play will start for the Wolverines December 3rd at home, as Grove City will be taking on Geneva that night, 5:30, 7:30. The Wolverine women will be home next Saturday. They will take on Pitt Greensburg. Tip scheduled for 1 p.m. in the Grove City College Arena. And that's the update. We'll get you a basketball update here after this break, Mark.
All right, we'll step aside for a break. When we come back, we'll look at the numbers from this one. Grove City with a 35-0 lead here at the half over the Hiram Terriers. You are listening to the Wolverines Sports Network.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi. What do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies.
That's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs?
This place? Oh, more ice cream trucks.
Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better.
Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org. Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is the news. This morning, we are saluting the 2.2 million women who have joined in the war effort. They now make up 37% of the workforce, changing their role forever.
The prestigious Harvard Medical School is breaking ground today, opening its doors to new female applicants.
Today, little girls all over the world look to the sky, where the first woman is now in space.
Military stereotypes are challenged today with the trailblazing promotion of a U.S. female officer to 4-star general. It was just announced that the vast majority of last year's doctorate degrees were earned by women.
We've come so far, but our news is changing for the worse. More women die from heart disease and stroke than men, even though it can be prevented. Make a change at GoRedForWomen.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the American Heart Association's Go Red for Women.
Chris, can you put the video game controller down for a second?
I can talk and play. Oh, I'm totally annihilating this punk kid in Nebraska.
I just feel like you're not acting like a grown-up in our relationship.
Am too.
Well, you still ride your skateboard to work, there's the comic book collection, the race car bed.
Look, I'm young at heart, but I put money into my 401k every paycheck. I picked up a few savings tips at feedthepig.org. I have control over my financial life now, and that feels pretty grown up.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. For free ideas and easy tips on ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
So, I bet I look like a grown-up to you now.
Well, except for the footy pajamas, I'd have to agree.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
A little more than 7 minutes to go in the halftime here at the home of the Terriers at Henry Field at Malmesser Stadium in Hiram, Ohio. It is a 35-0 lead for the Wolverines here at the break. Looking at some of the first half numbers, Tejada throwing the football 9 of 16 for 122 yards. He has 1 interception, no touchdowns. The Wolverines have sacked him 5 times. Overall numbers, because of those sacks, the Terriers struggling running the football. They have accumulated a total of negative 21 yards rushing here in the first half. Lewis leads the way, though, with 5 catches for 82 yards, averaging a little more than 16 yards per carry. Hargis has 3 catches for 26 yards, and Dix has 1 catch for 14 yards. For the Wolverines, Wiley throwing the football. Great first half, 10 of 14 for 163 yards. He has 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. They've kept him clean so far. He has not been sacked in the first half of action. Chase Rankins ran the ball 9 times for 92 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Ian Demiri has 8 carries for 45 yards. Rankin averaging just a shade over 10 yards per carry. Daniel Sullivan has 4 catches for 73 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Seth McGordy, 3 catches for 52 yards. Sam Penna, 3 for 38 and a touchdown. All 3 receivers for the Wolverines averaging more than 12 yards per reception in the first half. Individual numbers, Grove City, they've run it 17 times as a team for 136 yards. They are averaging 8 yards per carry in the first half while holding the Terriers to minus 1.6 yards per rush attempt. Overall, Grove City has 31 plays here in the first half for 299 yards, 29 plays for Hiram for 101 yards. 6 penalties on the Wolverines for 50 yards, 5 for 40 yards on the Terriers. The Wolverines did not punt in that first half of action. Time of possession, that is in favor of the Terriers, 15-25 to 14-13. 35. And when you look at the first half scoring for the Wolverines, Chase Rankin got it going, a 14-yard touchdown run. And Brady Lane's extra point made it 7-0 in favor of the Wolverines, a 6-play, 52-yard drive that took a little over 3 minutes off of the game clock. Ethan Wiley to Daniel Sullivan from 2 yards out made it 14-0 in favor of Grove City after the Brady Lane extra point. That a 9-play, 80-yard drive that took 4.5 minutes of game time. Wolverines pushed the lead to 20-0 when Rankin would score from 29 yards out. The extra point by Lane made it 21-0. That was the 7-play, 99-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 47 seconds off the clock. Tejada was then intercepted at the 5:05 mark of the first half by Mason Klaus and brought back 97 yards for the touchdown to make it to 28-0 in favor of the Wolverines. And then a Wiley to Sam Penna from 9 yards out. That touchdown pass, Wiley's second of the afternoon, a 7-play, 68-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 3 seconds off of the clock. We are just a little more than 3 minutes away from the start of the third quarter. We'll step aside for another break and come back and get you ready for the third quarter of action here on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, tail-wagging, backyard-hanging, and, of course, companionship.
And what breed would you say Satchmo is?
I'd have to go with maybe a lavish terrier-hound chihuahua-looking kind of mix.
Tremendous dog.
I'd also like to point out Satchmo's coloring, a white, gray, brown, black brindle, simply marvelous.
You know, it's such a treat to watch a dog like this.
Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive. And now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance, so common with this group.
And finally, the loving face lick.
It's great how he just gets in there and, well, licks.
Fantastic. But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than 4 walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learn to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Just about 90 seconds away from getting this second half underway. And a first half where the Wolverines played solid in all 3 phases of the game here this afternoon. And we've seen the passing game starting to get some rhythm the last couple of weeks.
It certainly has. Ethan Wiley, working with a number of receivers. You look today, Daniel Sullivan 4 catches, Seth McGordy with 3, Sam Penna with 3. Sullivan and Penna both catching touchdowns today. 10 of 14, does have the 1 interception, but that interception was more about the Hiram defender making a great play. It was passed a little bit off. 9 times out of 10, that pass is incomplete, but it was intercepted. Sometimes you acknowledge the defender and say, hey, he got me there. But all in all, good job from Wiley, 163 yards. Then Chase Rankin, 9 carries, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ian DeMary. So you think about the term balance, and it's not just number of plays, although Grove City 17 runs, 14 passes. That's balanced. The production balanced, 136 on the ground, 163 through the air. But then also how in each segment, we talked about the catching, 4, 3, and 3 on the 10 receptions, how the division of labor on the ground game, all in all, a very balanced effort from the Wolverine offense, and we're going to see the Wolverine offense to start the second half as Hiram won the toss and elected to receive. And, of course, Hiram did that, went 3 and out, had the short punt. Wolverines took over short, shy of midfield, went down and scored. And so Wolverines will get the ball to start the second half. And I'm curious as to who the quarterback will be for the Wolverines. Ethan Wiley crossed the way, has his hands in his pocket, no helmet on. It might be Mike Holloman, the freshman from Florida, getting some work here in the second half.
So the Terriers set to kick as we get ready to begin this third quarter. Grove City get their hands on the football first. They will work left to right here in the third. 2 men back deep as they're going to put this on the ground. That kicks off one of the up men, and a live football recovered by the Terriers near the 39-yard line.
Yeah, the onside kick, the Wolverine player was there but couldn't handle it, and Devon Lewis jumps on it, and Hiram, hey, last game of the year, let it rip, and the Terriers looking to get something jump-started. We'll get the ball at the Grove City 42-yard line.
So Tejada and the Terriers offense to come back out on the field. 9 of 16, 122 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. Sacked 5 times by the Wolverine defense in the first half. They'll put trips to the right, single receiver to the left side, single back in the backfield. Tejada will drop to throw. Pressured by Clemens as he rolls to the outside, now throws on the run, and that pass is too tall and incomplete with the coverage in the Wolverine secondary downfield by Keegan Frazier.
Wolverines doing a little bit of substituting defensively. It's kind of a mix of the ones and twos. Caleb Cool's in at defensive end for Jordan Karcheski. At linebacker, Aiden Kitts, the freshman from Rancocas Valley, New Jersey, is in, along with Daniel Franco. Clemens remains out there. Mike Ekwee, Levi Teets, and Josh Carr, the cornerback spots. And looks like we have a new strong safety as well in Jace Herrick, or is that Montgomery? It is Jace Herrick. Keegan Frazier stays in at free safety, kind of helping quarterback everybody back there.
Going to snap the football. They will run it on a second down, and across the 35, diving down near the 30-yard line is R.J. Johnson for the Terriers, but a flag upfield.
2 flags in the middle of the field. And it will be a hold against Hiram that will wipe out an 11-yard gain.
That'll be their 6th penalty for 50 yards. Called on the Terriers so far here this afternoon. It's stayed overcast and dark. The lights are now on here at the home of the Terriers as rain is expected later on this afternoon. So that backs the football up to the 48-yard line of the Terriers, who are working right to left here in the third quarter. Tejada, the quarterback. It's Johnson, the tailback. Trips to the right, single receiver left side. Tejada to throw. Time, steps into a deep ball downfield. Had a man out there and overthrows his intended target downfield. As that pass just a little bit too much on it, it sailed downfield looking for the receiver, Kevin Dix, the junior.
Yeah, and the wind has been blowing from right to left. It's died down a little bit, but you could see that throw just take off. Tejada, he has a little bit of a low arm slide. It kind of comes out sort of like next to his ear, almost like a catcher throwing the ball, and it just takes off and ends up 3rd and 20. But he had his man was open.
3rd and 20, 14-20 to play, third quarter. Trips to the right, twins to the left. Tejada's alone in the backfield. Play clock down under 5 seconds. He'll drop to throw. Steps up, that's Clemens who spins around. The lineman is able to get to Tejada for the 6th sack of the afternoon for the Grove City defense.
He just beat the tackle one-on-one and then wraps up Tejada for the loss back to the 44-yard line. That holding penalty really crippling the drive after Hiram. Great field position, the surprise onside kick, catching Grove City off guard. Hiram recovering, but the Terriers go backwards. Penalty, then the missing the open receiver, now the sack on 3rd down.
Hoskins, the punt from his own 30-yard line, gets away a high spiraling kick, and Epps will make the fair catch at the 22-yard line, and that's where the Wolverines will take over for their first offensive possession here of the second half. as they will work again from left to right. Mentioned lots of changes coming for this Grove City offense. Mike Holloman, the freshman quarterback out of Princeton, New Jersey, will get the second half start.
Caden Spencer, receiver. The aforementioned Cam Epps is in the slot.
Two receivers to the right, one to the left side. Holloman will hand the football off on to first down. That's Miller getting his first carry as he'll spin off one tackle. And Miller's going to be downfield just shy of the 30-yard line. He'll pick up 7. It's second down and close to 3, maybe 4.
Shepard Miller, he is from IMG Academy, as is Mike Holloman by way of the Pingree School in New Jersey. Not the first time they've had a quarterback-running back exchange.
Holloman takes the snap, gives the ball to Miller. Miller trying to bounce to the outside across the 30, 35, lowers the shoulder and works his way down near the 40-yard line. Powerful running from the freshman running back as he's able to get another first down for the Wolverine offense.
Saw a lot of Shepard Miller early in the season, but then with the emergence of Chase Rankin and the Wolverines figuring that out, Miller has been more on special teams in the second half of the year, but showing that he has a very bright future, and the present's pretty good too as well, 12-yard pickup.
Two receivers go to the left, one to the right side. Play clock now down under 10 seconds. Holloman to throw first time. Pass going to be caught across the 45-yard line and dragging tacklers. And another big play through the air for this Wolverine offense.
Joseph Gregoire making the catch. I believe that's his first collegiate catch. He'll get 8 to the 49.
So second down and 2 for the Wolverine offense. Holloman remains the quarterback. Looks like Miller is the tailback. One receiver left, two to the right side. Movement up front. Here comes the flag. Holloman going to take the shot downfield. And the receiver got forced out of bounds, and the pass will fall incomplete. Looking for Caden Spencer downfield, a freshman wide receiver. So that 5-yard penalty on the Terriers will give the Wolverines the first down. And this drive will now continue at the Terrier 46-yard line.
Caden Spencer out of Knock. Knock High School's certainly been good to the Wolverines over the years. Just the Frazier boys coming to mind, and Caden Spencer.
Holloman takes the snap, will throw, going to fire downfield just off the hands of his intended receiver. Again, looking for Caden Spencer. And this will now bring up a second down and 10 for the Wolverines. .47 to play in the game. In this third quarter. One receiver to the left, two to the right side. They will run it with Miller. Miller going to carry a couple of tacklers down to the 42-yard line. Shepard Miller, we've got a flag that came in as they unpiled after the end of the play.
They'll get Coltreri with a push on Gabe Hilty, as Hilty was kind of bent back a little bit, and it wasn't the most violent of personal fouls in the history of football, but nope. And it was not violent enough for a penalty. They wave it off. It was. Did he need to do it? Probably not. Did it merit a penalty? Officials get together and say no. So it's hard to argue the no call. It would have again. You always like to see the Wolverines get an extra 15 yards, but that would have been certainly a kind of a thin call.
Trips to the left, one to the right side. Holloman juggles the snap, now pulls the ball down, taking the shot downfield, and that's a great over-the-shoulder catch, and a flag comes in as well. Caden Spencer making that catch. We'll have to sort out the penalty.
I think they're going to say it hit the turf. And then it's going to be interference, I think, on Spencer too. So it may end up being the double whammy on Spencer. Had it that popped loose when he hit the turf, and then also called for interference as he was battling with Jimenez downfield. Now, if you're Hiram, do you take the penalty, make it 3rd and 21, or 4th and 6? We'll see what head coach Xavier Dupree elects to do.
Talking with the officials, trying to decide what's the best course of action. Now we will get the penalty call from our referee, and it will be offensive pass interference. They will decline the penalty and bring up 4th down. So 4th and 7, and Brady Lane on to punt for the first time here this afternoon. Lane averaging about 36 yards per kick with a long of 60 on the season. Single returner back deep at about the 6-yard line for the Terriers. Snap back to Lane and rush on, and Lane does get the kick away that is going to be fair caught at about the 6-yard line, and the Terriers got a little pressure on Brady Lane that time.
Yeah, some pressure coming from the far side. Lane able to get it away, and you saw that when it came off his foot, I thought that's going to the end zone, but the wind knocked it down and ended up Cade Scott ranging over to make the fair catch. And it'll be put down just outside the 5 at the 6-yard line for the Terriers. 11:03 to go, so a 36-yard punt. Another fair catch for Brady Lane.
Yeah, we can't mention enough of the superlatives for what he has done, taking over the kicking duties and handling every phase of that.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's a lot of responsibility, for especially for a freshman. But he has not kicked nor punted like a freshman this year.
1st and 10 for the Terriers. We've got movement up front, and Clemens dancing around may have caused a procedure penalty on the Hiram Terriers. So that penalty for a false start will back them up. And it'll be 1st and 13 now for Hiram.
I thought they might get Clemens, but if he doesn't cross the neutral zone, it ends up Hiram penalized.
4 receivers in the formation. We've got movement up front as some players moved and some did not. And that'll be another procedure penalty for a false start on the Terriers that'll put them even further behind the chains.
Yeah, they could get about 9 guys for that, but really it's the center, Talon Frick, the junior out of General McLean High School up in Edinburgh. He's the one that did not snap it, so now the ball goes to about the 1.5-yard line.
Tejada throwing from his own end zone, and that pass out in front of his intended target and incomplete. We'll bring up a 2nd down and long now for the Terriers.
Tejada took a big hit from Nick Clemens, who was unblocked from the backside. They're looking to get Stapleton. It was a designed quick pass, and if it was any slower, it would have been a safety. Tejada got it out of there, but he took a big shot right between the shoulder blades.
Yeah, Stapleton, their leading receiver, has been quiet so far today. So 2nd and 14. The ball on the Terrier 2-yard line. Put a man in motion, bring him inside for some extra protection. They will run the ball with R.J. Johnson, and R.J. Johnson got back to the 1-yard line. So it'll bring up now a 3rd down and long for the Terriers, as close to a safety without getting one as you could possibly be.
Yeah, they were certainly walking the tightrope there. Johnson just getting the football out of the goal or beyond the goal line, but 3rd and long now.
So 3rd and 15 from the Hiram 1-yard line. They go trips to the right, single receiver to the left side, single back is R.J. Johnson. Tejada to throw, standing on his back goal line, and that ball is knocked away and incomplete. That's good coverage out of the Wolverines secondary. Josh Carr, the freshman corner, there to make the play.
Wolverines very excited about Josh Carr and what it means for the future. Wolverines relatively young at cornerback with Wheeler and Danina. Of course, Bowden Davidson, a senior, but Josh Carr, a name that we're going to hear more of as time goes on.
So this will make it 4th down and 15 And Luke Hoskins will be punting from the very back of his own end zone. Rush on, that punt partially blocked. And that's going to roll around and be picked up by the Terriers at their 15-yard line.
I believe it was Mike Ekwey who came in there and got his hand on it. The Wolverines will have it at the 15-yard line. I'm looking over there to see who's getting the celebrations and the high fives there. But it looked like Mike Ekwey was the one that came through. Of course, punting from the back of the end zone, only 11 yards, and the Wolverines able to get a piece of another punt, and they'll have it in the red zone.
This special teams unit has always been really solid, but it feels like this group has really taken the step to the next level this year, blocking punts, blocking some field goals and extra points throughout the season. Holloman is the quarterback. Miller is the tailback. He'll give the ball to Shepard Miller, cutting in between the hashes. And Miller continuing to drive all the way down to the 5-yard line. It's 1st and goal for the Wolverines.
Shepard Miller, tough running there, and showing everybody why he was the opening day starter. He's a guy that, no doubt, getting an opportunity here, wanting to show what he can do. And Shepard Miller, you just look at him, just thick thighs, good feet, strong runner. He gives Grove City 1st and goal.
From the 4-yard line, Holloman takes the snap, gives the ball to Miller, cuts back, and he will walk into the end zone. Couple of great blocks up front, and Shepard Miller finds the end zone. So with 9:18 to play here into this third quarter, Grove City now leads 41-0, and Brady Lane will come on to attempt the extra point. So it'll be Lambert to snap it. Sutton Ellis will do the holding. Brady Lane will come on to attempt the extra point. Play clock down under 10 seconds. Snap and hold are good, as well as Brady Lane's extra point. 9:18 to play, third quarter. It is Grove City 42 and Hiram 0 on the Wolverines Sports Network.
I'm a veteran, and I lost both legs in Vietnam. My victory was proving that disability is not a limitation.
I'm Julius. I'm a veteran. My victory was going from homeless to home.
At DAV, we're on a mission, helping veterans of all generations get the benefits they've earned.
I'm Cece. My victory was finishing my education.
When America's veterans win, we all win. Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Shepard Miller's rushing touchdown has now given the Grove City Wolverines a 42-0 lead, and Brady Lane lining up to kick at the 35-yard line, and they're keeping Brady Lane busy here this afternoon.
They certainly are. We see some new guys rotating in on the kick team now. Caleb Haley out there. Johnny Ruggles, who's been on the punt team, he's out there now. Andrew Moberg, backup linebacker.
Lane's kick high and deep, and this will check up and just curl inside the far left pylon for the touchback. You never know what kind of bounce that football's going to take.
It hit at the goal line or shy of the goal line, just bounced, and went over the pylon. It's it's been fun to see some of those kicks just for the entertainment value of that bouncing around, but a good another kickoff, another touchback. And Hiram takes over at the 25. See some more subs out there for the Wolverines. Jack Rickovic is in at nose tackle. Cole Savage in at defensive end, joining Cool up front. The corners remain Teets and Carr. Ekwey at safety along with Herrick, and the new free safety in is Stephen Fellows, freshman from Wheaton Academy.
They're going to run it on a first down with Isaiah Livingstone, and Livingstone going to get back to the line of scrimmage. We'll call it no gain, 2nd down and 10.
Brock Belmont in at linebacker along with Aiden Kitts. Danny Franco is the 3rd linebacker, so that's the Grove City 11 out there with 9 minutes to go. Some names we've called some this year, some names we've not called a great deal. Good to see some young guys getting some work there here in this second half.
2 receivers go to the right, 2 to the left side for Tejada, who's got 14 seconds on the play clock. Receiver in motion to that right side. Tejada looking that way. Steps into a throw one-on-one. And Levi Teets there at the last second to bat that football away. And incomplete. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Levi Teets played it perfectly. He's put together a really good junior season. He's been on a lot of the special teams. We've seen him at corner, playing extensive and extended minutes. The junior out of Morgantown. Not the biggest guy out there. You look at the height and weight, but a guy that plays much bigger than that, and really just a real glue guy for the Wolverines.
So 3rd down and 10 for the Terriers. Play clock now down under 5 seconds. They put the man in motion right side. Tejada to throw. Steps into that throw that is a tight-roped catch along the sidelines for the Terriers, and this is going to bring up 4th down and about 2 yards to go on that catch by Jordan Stapleton, the sophomore from Menor.
But he didn't get past the stick. On 3rd and 10, he runs a 9-yard route, and he goes out of bounds to the 34-yard line. It's 4th and 1, and Hiram will go for it.
Tejada overlooks the defense, takes the low snap. Pressured as he throws, and the pass on the sidelines is going to be caught once again. That's Jordan Stapleton who converts the 4th down for the Terriers.
Nice route that time. We got to the sideline. Good throw from Tejada, but where only his guy can make the catch, and Hiram converts on 4th and short. Terriers 0 of 9 on 3rd down today, but they do get the 4th down conversion there.
So it'll be 1st and 10 out to their 41-yard line. 7:40 to play here in this afternoon's 3rd quarter. A 42-0 lead for the Wolverines. Stack 2 receivers right and left as Tejada drops to throw, and that pass off his receiver's hands and incomplete. He was being hit as he tried to make the throw, and the pass fell to the turf, incomplete, looking for Kevin Dix, the junior. So 7:25 to play. 2nd down and 10 for Hiram, as they will once again bring in Alex Bars, the sophomore running back out of Texas. Play clock now rolling down to 10 seconds. Going to stack 2 receivers right and 2 to the left side. Tejada claps, takes the snap, flags fly on the play, and Tejada is going to be hit from behind and dropped back at the 37-yard line, and that penalty flag on the field as Brock Belmont tried to get the sack and the strip at the same time.
Unfortunately, the Wolverines are going to be called for offsides.
They've been walking that tightrope of really coming up to the line, trying to get some extra pressure. That time got caught. So it's 2nd down and 5 for the Terriers from their 46-yard line. One receiver far out to the right, 2 to the left side, wing to the left side. They're going to fake it now, dump it to the tight end who goes in motion, and he's able to push the pile down to the 49-yard line. Still going to be a couple yards shy of the 1st down is Dylan Hargis.
Good job by the Wolverine defense rallying to the football. We see Belmont there, Mike Equi, Cole Savage, the defensive end from Greensburg, getting out there as well. Savage, he's been moving up the totem pole on the defensive line, and Hiram in another 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2.
Terriers 0 of 9 on a 3rd down this afternoon. And one receiver far out to the right, trips short side to the left. Tejada to throw, takes the one-on-one shot downfield. And that is going to be a good catch as able to kind of squeeze that ball in. And a big play downfield for the Terriers.
Nice catch by Stapleton down to the 21-yard line. Gain of 30. First 3rd down conversion for Hiram today. Tejada letting it rip. 171 yards for him now today.
For Stapleton, that'll be his 3rd catch. All have come here in the 2nd half. Single receiver right, trips to the left side. Tejada will drop to throw. has time, going to take the deep shot downfield, has a receiver open, and that is Dylan Hargis, the tight end, with the touchdown catch for the Terriers.
Good route by Hargis, the corner route by the tight end. Able to get to the near sideline, beat the defender, and Hiram, a very impressive drive. 8 plays, 75 yards, and it uses 348, and the Terriers are on the board.
So Nathan Levine on for the extra point. 22 of 29 on extra points on the season. A freshman out of Maine. So Southern will hold. And the extra point is up, and it is good. 5:30 to play, third quarter. Grove City 42 and Hiram 7. You are listening to the Wolverines Sports Network.
That means that do not disturb when you're driving and when you're going from point A to B. I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving and when you're going from point A to B. I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
.530 to play in the third quarter, 42-7. Grove City leading Hiram, and we've already seen the Terriers attempt an onside kick to start this second half. So, you know, the Wolverine special teams will be leery of them trying that potentially again.
Yeah, if you're Hiram, nothing to lose. They were able to execute one earlier. They got the pretty good bounce. We'll see what the Wolverines have made any adjustments in terms of the alignment. They do have Epps deep, and I believe, is that Sam Penna on the near side, Mark?
That is Sam Penna on the near side. So Epps and Penna back to return this kick.
I saw Sam doing some holding against St. Vincent a few weeks ago. I believe he's become the backup holder.
This one will be a little bit of a pop-up kick that is going to be caught across the 35. And cutting back down near the 40-yard line is on the spot one of the upmen there to make the play on the football. And let's see who came out of there with the football.
It was Dustin Hoddle.
And it was Dustin Hoddle.
Well, he saw Anthony Brunette catching passes and running the ball last week. He says, hey, look at me with the football in my hands. But Dustin Hoddle, who's done a really good job. 26, that's a good kick returner number.
Yes, it is.
Good, I mean, you think, Rod Woodson wore 26. He was a really good kick returner. He looked like a natural there, one of the upmen.
So Holloman remains at the quarterback spot with receivers to each side, and he'll look to throw on a first down, and that pass is going to be brought in along the far sidelines. And that completion is right in front of the Grove City bench for a good gain on a first down of 5 yards.
Joseph Gregoire, second catch of the afternoon. Sophomore, although he missed pretty much all of last season due to injury, so essentially his first go-around, and another big target out there.
Single receivers to each side on second down and 5. Wolverines are going to run the football across the 50 and down near the 45-yard line. And getting the carry is a freshman out of Deer Lakes. That's Zaire Williams with his first carry.
Yeah, looking good there, Zaire Williams getting the first down.
And we've seen this the last couple of weeks. Wolverines doing a good job getting a lot of the second and third teamers in to have an opportunity to stay sharp. Dropping to throw. Holloman takes the time, fires that pass out. That is going to be caught and right near the first down marker. And they're going to be just a bit shy as that's going to bring up third down and about 1 to go.
Gregoire, another catch down to the Hiram 37. So Holloman 3 for 5, 22 yards. And 9 yards on first down, so second and short.
One receiver to the left, 2 to the right side. They're going to run it with Miller across the 30, 25, 20, and spinning down near the 17-yard line. Big run right up the middle for the freshman Shepard Miller. Quarter clock rolling down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds. First and 10, Wolverines from the Terrier 18-yard line. Two receivers left, one to the right side. Holloman to throw, fires. Gregoire makes another reception, turns it upfield, and it'll be first and goal for the Wolverines. Two minutes, 50 seconds. Clock rolling here in the third quarter. Put a single receiver to the left side, two to the right side. Miller is the tailback with the freshman quarterback, Mike Holloman. Going to give to Miller, running middle. Miller lowering the shoulder, driving for the goal line, and in for the Grove City touchdown. Second one of the afternoon for the freshman Shepard Miller. And the Wolverines are again on the board.
Good, tough running by Shepard Miller. Got to about the 1.5. Kept the legs moving, then got some help from the offensive line. You saw Gabe Hildy down there, Zeke Swift the center. And Wolverines will kick. Devin Thomas to kick. New snapper Noah Carr. And we mentioned Sam Penna doing some holding. Well, he's out there now.
Thomas, the junior out of Blackhawk, has attempted a couple extra points this year. Snap is down, and the extra point by Thomas is up. It is good. 2:25 to play third quarter. Grove City 49 and Hiram 7 on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Brady Lane set to kick the football away with 2:25 to play here in this third quarter. Lane with the ball teed up at the 35-yard line. It's a high end-over-end kick and a fair catch called for right around the 15-yard line. And some confusion there with the two returners. One tried to return it, the other one called for the fair catch.
Of course, we saw in the Waynesburg game that if a player fair catches it but somebody else fields it, they get the ball where they catch it. But if the guy that waves his arm is the one who catches it, the ball comes out to the 25, which is what we have here. Remember, of course, back on homecoming, Waynesburg started, I think, back at the 1 or 2 yard line because of that. But the ball comes out to the 25-yard line to begin the drive.
Rain's approaching Hiram as they take a quick check of the radar with 2:25 to play here in this third quarter. So first and 10 for the Terriers from their 25-yard line. Throwing on first down, and that pass is going to be caught across the 30 and down to the 31-yard line as Tejada has now thrown the football 28 times here this afternoon.
Completing 15 of them, and Hargis having a nice afternoon. What you can see with Hiram is they have an offensive identity. Tejada, they're letting him use that arm. They have a nice fleet of receivers, using the strengths of those receivers well. And that's what we have. Now ready for play. But that's key with what Coach Dupree here at Hiram. Setting a foundation in year one, establishing an identity. How do we want to play football? How do we want to play offense, defense? And you can tell this team has a distinct identity.
Tejada to throw, going to take the deep shot downfield, and that pass is going to be caught. Just able to hold on to the football is Jordan Stapleton, the sophomore, with the big completion.
Levi Tietz was right there. I don't know if he could have defended it any more. In fact, I think he might have got a hand on it, but Stapleton gets both hands on it. For a pickup of 36 yards. Stapleton now 82 yards on 4 catches today.
Terrier's going to come right back to the line with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go here in this third quarter. Two receivers to his right, one to the left of Sean Tejada. He's going to run the ball with Isaiah Livingstone on first down, and it's a short gain of just about a yard for Livingstone. It brings up second down.
Brock Belmont making the tackle, his fourth stop of the afternoon. Belmont, good football player, guy that, when you're an outside linebacker, you're battling for time in this linebacking core, you may not get a ton of scrimmage plays, but when he's been out there in down and distance plays, he's done the job, been a great special teamer as well, and making the tackle there to bring down Livingstone after a 1-yard gain.
Terriers have run the ball 17 times for minus 25 yards when you figure in the 6 sacks. Tejada to throw, dancing in the pocket, going to throw off of his back foot into the end zone, and that pass dislodged and incomplete by the Wolverines secondary in the end zone. So that will stop the clock with 10 seconds to play here in this third quarter.
Big hit by Levi Teets. Hargis had it for a minute, and Teets hit him square in the chest to knock it loose. 3rd and 9. Good hit from Teets. Clean hit. Hit him hard, but hit him where you're supposed to, in that target area. Now 3rd and 9 at the 32-yard line for Hiram. Terriers 1 of 10 on 3rd down today.
They will go with trips receivers to the right side. Single receiver to the left side. Livingstone remains the tailback. Tejada to throw. Rolling out to the right side. Throwing on the run, and this pass into double coverage in the end zone is caught for a touchdown. On the reception, that's Devon Lewis, who was able to find his way between two Wolverine defenders for the 6 points.
Tejada on the scramble. He was approaching the line of scrimmage behind it. He had some room to run, but he cut it loose and found Lewis in the end zone for the touchdown. What a throw on the run by Tejada. Put it on the money. And Devon Lewis, over 100 yards today.
Now Levine will come on for the extra point. 23 of 30 on the season. High snap, they get it down, and the extra point is good. We've now come to the end of 3 here this afternoon from Hiram. It is Grove City 49 and the Hiram Terriers 14. You're listening to the Wolverines Sports Network.
Ken Frenchak here from the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Fall. Leaves are changing. Why not get a jump start on the season and get the oil changed in your vehicle? We have your grade of Valvoline oil regardless of your gas or diesel engine. We stock most air filters and windshield wiper blades. So don't forget, we offer 2 automatic car washes along with 2 self-serve bays. Stop by to have your car run and look great. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come to us for the experience.
Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy.
Final 15 minutes of this one put up on the scoreboard here this afternoon. Grove City leading 49-14 and about to get the football back.
Update in Grove City College basketball, Mark, before we get the kickoff. Grove City women leading Mount Aloysius at halftime down the road at Worcester, 49-29. Grove City looking to get to 2-1 on the season.
So it'll be Nathan Levine, the freshman from Brunswick, Maine, to kick. To get us started here in the fourth quarter. This will be a bouncing ball scooped up at the 49-yard line by Miller, who's going to be down to about the 45-yard line. And I want to take a look at him at shortstop, the way he played that hop.
Yeah, that was he handled that well. It was a little bit of a tough hop, but able to scoop it up and a decent return out to the 45-yard line. Shepard Miller out on the kick return unit in the middle of that second line, and it's a first and 10 for the Wolverines at the 46-yard line.
So Holloman will continue at the quarterback spot. It'll be Zaire Williams now getting an opportunity at the tailback. with 2 receivers right and 1 to the left side. Holloman to throw it on first down, goes underneath, and that's going to be a good catch along the sidelines, walking the tightrope to make that reception. And Gregoire has another catch, and he's looked good. That's a big receiver for the Wolverines at 6'3" and 170.
Yeah, and really, as we said, he's a sophomore, on the roster, but he was injured pretty much all of last year. So this is essentially his rookie season, and 4 catches today. He's really doing a nice job out there, and a guy that keep an eye on the future. As you mentioned, 6'3", good size, and obviously good hands, good footwork there.
Hallman to throw with time, has a receiver open and settles under that catch at about the 26-yard line.
Caden Spencer on the other side, out of Knock High School, we talked about him. Nice size as well for him, too. He'll get 15 yards on his first catch. Holloman now 6 of 8 for 56 yards.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolverines. Aaron Williams, the tailback. Holloman to throw. Takes the shot downfield. Gregoire makes another reception. And he is driven back shy of the 20-yard line. Holman's looked good throwing the football.
He certainly has. He has all the measurables. You look at that size, 6'5", strong arm. Just needs experience, and he's getting ample experience today. A full set, or at least he's played all the third quarter and part of the fourth quarter here. Certainly a guy that could be in the mix next year to take over as the starting quarterback.
2nd down and 3. Holloman takes the snap, fires downfield. That ball just kind of sailed on him a little bit away from the receiver and out of bounds. And we'll bring up 3rd down now as that pass was errant of Caden Spencer.
Spencer went in, the pass went out.
13-10 to play here, 4th quarter. Play clock now under 20 seconds. Put 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left side. Burnett's still in there at the fullback spot, marking directions for the backfield. Holloman to throw it with time. Has a man open down the middle and a diving catch in the end zone for Cameron Epps. And he'll have his first touchdown as a Wolverine.
Epps wide open on the post pattern. A blown coverage, and Mike Holloman saw Cam Epps running free in the secondary, and Mike Holloman has his first touchdown pass at the collegiate level, and Cam Epps into the scoring column for the first time in 2025.
And that'll bring Devin Thomas on to attempt the extra point. Play clock now down under 10 seconds. Snap a little high. They get it down, and the extra point by Thomas is up and good. 13 minutes to play, 4th quarter. Grove City 56, Hiram 14 on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Thirteen minutes to play, 4th quarter, 56-14. The Wolverines with the lead on an afternoon where a lot of the younger players getting some playing time this afternoon for the Wolverines.
The participation report is going to be long, and so's the scoring summary for the Wolverines. You see the 2 freshmen, Holloman, combining with Cameron Epps, Shepard Miller, a couple touchdowns as well out of that freshman group.
Lane's kick is high and deep, and that will drift into the end zone for another touchback for Brady Lane. You mentioned Holloman, 8 of 11 throwing the football, 84 yards and a touchdown. We've seen him a little bit earlier on in the season, but this is the first time he's really got an opportunity for some extended playing time.
Yeah, and the Wolverines, they were hoping for an opportunity to get him an extended run. And I think it's one of those cases that if something had happened to Ethan Wiley, Sutton Ellis would be the next man up. He's the number 2. So next week in whatever postseason game the Wolverines have, whether it's the Open Doors Bowl or NCAA playoffs, we'll know more tonight or in the morning. But Sutton Ellis is the number 2, but Mike Holloman's a guy that the Wolverines are bringing along as perhaps the guy certainly to compete for the starting spot next year.
Tejada to throw it on a first down, a pass caught, and the receiver immediately dropped at the 32-yard line, but that's a gain of 7 on first down. Levi Teets there to make the stop.
And Kevin Dykes with his second catch of the afternoon. And Tejada, 18 of 32, 272 yards. We've had a chance to see not all the PSC quarterbacks, but a lot of them, and he has been very, very impressive, certainly.
Play clock to 12 as he drops to throw. Standing in the pocket, being pressured to the outside. Now a flag on the play, and he'll just throw this one into the Grove City bench. One of the coaches there to make the play.
The flag was thrown by the referee who was lined up behind the right tackle, and illegal hands to the face against Hiram.
That'll be their 10th penalty of the afternoon for the Terriers. So that backs the football up inside the 20, down near the 18-yard line.
That's a 15-yarder. A very costly penalty.
Tejada takes the snap as he drops to throw. Steps up, going down the middle, and that pass knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage. And then one of the safeties rotated over for additional help defensively.
Yeah, both safeties back there, Stephen Fellows and Jace Herrick. Look like Herrick got the hand on it to break it up, and it will be 3rd down and 18 upcoming for the Hiram Terriers. Talked about all the things that Levi Teets does. Jace Herrick, same thing on all the special teams. Just a glue guy. Of course, last year scoring the touchdown on the blocked punt against Johns Hopkins in the playoffs. Guy that's always seems to be in the right spot. The ball always seems to find him, too.
3rd and 18, and now whistles. And looks like we will have a timeout on the field. So we've got a timeout with 12:05 to play in the 4th quarter, and we'll be back after this break on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
12:05 to play in this one this afternoon. The Week 11 final game of the regular season for the Wolverines that lead at 56-14 over the Hiram Terriers. Tejada facing a 3rd down and long. Takes the snap, 3-step drop, steps up into the pocket. He'll run with the football, and he's going to be pulled down from behind right near the line of scrimmage, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
There's Brock Belmont again to get Tejada. Though he'll get credit for about a yard on the run, but good job by Belmont to track him down. We've seen Tejada on the run, his ability to throw the ball very accurately downfield while running, and that time unable to get it away.
So it looks like Epps back to return this punt alongside Sam Penna. And this is going to go over Epps' head and will roll inside the 40 and down to about the 37-yard line with 11:14 to play in this one this afternoon. Have a moment. We'll get you caught up on the scores around the PAC. Wolverines will have it first down and 10 from their 38-yard line.
Wolverines are over 200 yards both rushing and passing today, Mark. 26 first downs.
High snap. Holloman just pulls that high snap down, and he'll run with the football and get back near the line of scrimmage. Final this afternoon, Geneva. They beat Case Western Reserve 43-16.
Congrats to the GTs. 6-4 winning season. A long time since Geneva finished above 500, and Geneva certainly could be in line for an ECAC Bowl appearance next week.
Holloman slings one downfield. Receiver fell down, got tangled with the corner. No flag. It'll bring up third down. Just 11 seconds to go. W&J with a 67-0 lead over Teal in Washington.
Presidents, they'll be going to the playoffs. Will the PAC get one team in or two? That's have to wait for some more things to shake out. Some things the Wolverines needed to have happen have not happened today. But there's still some games out there yet to be finished. So,
15 seconds on the play clock.
Just kind of see what happens, see how it shakes out. We know the Wolverines are playing next week somewhere.
Holloman takes the snap to throw it on third down and 10. Pressured from the backside. And a fire cross-body downfield to the 40-yard line to Cameron Epps. Another pair of freshmen connecting for a big third down conversion.
Nice job by Holloman. Kept his eyes downfield and then found Kepps. That's a tough throw. Going left, and then a righty making that throw. He put it right on the money, right in the middle of that number 4 on Cam Epps' jersey. Mike Holloman throwing a dart downfield for the first down.
Two receivers right, one to the left side. Williams remains the tailback. Holloman, the quarterback. They'll give it to the running back across the 35 and down near the 32-yard line. A lot of the youngsters seeing some time and producing here this afternoon.
Zaire Williams with another carry out of Deer Lakes High School.
Under 8 minutes to play, Westminster with a 47-14 lead over St. Vincent. Williams again, going to get the football, going to try and bounce it outside, now cuts back inside, and he'll have the first down and more down to the 25-yard line. Other game in progress, just starting the fourth quarter in Meadville. Allegheny leading Bethany 35-0.
Not a lot of drama on the Week 11 scoreboard this week in the PAC, Mark. Gain of 8 for Williams to the 25-yard line. Wolverines with some the second-team linemen in now. Matthew Givens at left tackle, Ian Quinsel center, Tyler Francis at center, or Quins at left guard, I should say.
Holloman picks up the low snap, fires downfield, and just a little too far out in front of his intended target, and incomplete.
Also, we mentioned Tyler Francis at center. The right guard is Ashland Husseini, and at right tackle, Big Wink, Alex Winklevoss out of Reynolds High School. And Lucas Lohman in at the fullback spot.
Second and 10, 8:45 to play here in the fourth quarter. Going to run the ball with Williams, trying to shut off a defender with a stiff arm as he'll spin his way inside the 20 and down near the 19-yard line.
Williams, 6 more for him, 4 carries, 28 yards. Wolverines now exactly 500 yards today, Mark. 230 on the ground, 270 through the air.
Holloman, 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. Give the ball to Williams, running right up the middle, shedding blockers, and he is down to about the 12-yard line. And there is some depth in that running back room for the Wolverines, so for future seasons.
Yeah, and a lot of guys battling that competition, iron sharpening iron, if you will, and Zaire Williams out there doing a really nice job. He's a stout young man, but good feet.
Holloman to throw, firing a little too tall for Epps down the seam as he took a big hit at the end of the play. And it brings up 2nd down and 10.
And roughing the passer will be the penalty. So it'll be 1st and goal. After that penalty is, so it's not sure who hit him, but either way it's going to go to the 6, and it's an automatic 1st down. And that will be the 30th 1st down of the day for the Wolverines.
Miller headed in. Now he'll come back to the sidelines, and Williams will come back to the field.
Shepard Miller wants that hat trick. Already has 2 touchdowns. He's saying, I know where the goal line is.
So 1st and goal for the Wolverines from the 5-yard line. Holloman takes the snap, gives it to Williams, trying to follow that big offensive line. And not much on that carry. Will bring up a 2nd down and goal for the Wolverines. Letting the clock roll, now approaching 7 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. So 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. And we've got movement up front.
Tyler Francis ended up on his wallet, then got up and clapped because the nose tackle jumped and slammed into him. So it'll be half the distance. Now 2nd and goal from about 3 yards out.
12th penalty called on the Terriers. Wolverines have been called for 7 themselves. Williams remains the tailback. Single receiver seats out of the formation. Play clock under 20 seconds. Holloman takes the snap, looks to throw, fired, try to go to the back shoulder, and that pass is incomplete. And it's going to bring up 3rd and goal for the Wolverines.
Looking for Gregoire on the near side, and good coverage.
6:40 to play, 4th quarter. You mentioned it. A lot of things in front of the Wolverines to find out with the selection show Sunday at 5. Holloman overlooks that defense on 3rd and goal. Give it to Williams, trying to shed a couple of tackles, and he's going to gain just about a yard and bring up now 4th down and goal, and potentially an opportunity for the Wolverines to play a 3rd straight week in the Buckeye State.
Yes, if the Wolverines end up in the Open Doors Bowl, that would be in Canton next Saturday. The PAC Open Doors bid goes to the highest finishing team that doesn't go to the playoffs. So if the Wolverines don't make it in the 40-team field, they'll play in Canton next week. Opponent and time to be determined.
2nd and goal. Going to go for the back corner of the end zone, and Holloman's pass a little too far out in front. And that'll be a turnover on downs, and the Terriers get the ball with 5:55 to play in the 4th quarter.
The other teams involved in the Open Doors Bowl series, by the way, there are 2 games total involving 4 conferences. The PAC, the Ohio Athletic Conference, the North Coast Athletic Conference, and then the Heartland Collegiate Conference, which is Western Ohio, and then a lot of Indiana teams. So it has really kind of a, in baseball they always used to call it the Mid-East region, but kind of the Western Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana feel to it. So Wolverines, if they end up there, they'll play somebody from one of those teams.
And it's an interesting facility there at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium because it is a NFL caliber facility that is actually the home of the Canton McKinley Bulldogs, where they play all their high school football games. Going to run it on a 1st down, trying to get out of the shadow of their own end zone. On a gain of a couple yards, sets up a 2nd down and 8.
Livingstone on the carry. Jace Herrick on the stop for the Wolverines. See Josiah Gornitz in on the defensive line for Grove City.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8, 5:25 to play here in the 4th quarter.
Oliver Smith in at linebacker.
Tejada to throw, standing in his own goal line. That pass is going to be intercepted and brought back for a Wolverine touchdown. Just stepped in front of that throw did Jace Herrick, and the Greenville product took it to the end zone for a touchdown.
What do we say, Mark? The ball always finds him, and he jumped up, made a nice catch at the 12 and takes it back for the touchdown. The second interception return for touchdown today by Grove City. 24th interception of the year for the Wolverines, and they extend the lead.
Now 62-14 as Thomas will come on to attempt the extra point. Sam Penna will do the holding. Snap back to him is a good one. Thomas's extra point is all the way and good. 5:10 to play, fourth quarter. Grove City 63 and Hiram 14 on the Wolverine Sports Network.
Feed a hamster? I think so. Is my homework right? I think so. Is this milk still good? I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. Know. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. Know by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
.5:10, fourth quarter of the regular season finale for the Grove City College Wolverines, leading 63-14 and adding to that national leading total of 24 team interceptions by the Wolverines. So Lane will get ready to kick the football away. Ball teed up at the 35-yard line. Two-man back deep at the 5 for the Terriers. Lane's kickoff high and over and deep, and that'll be halfway back and through the end zone. And another touchback added to the total for Brady Lane on the season.
And referee Jack Tashwar is going to have to ice his shoulder and arm. He's been waving up and down for all those touchbacks today.
5:10 to play here in the fourth quarter. We've seen Tejada go all the way, throwing it 34 times so far here this afternoon, and a lot to build on for the Terriers in the future.
Certainly, you can see why this team has won 3 games. Coach Dupree and his staff, they're putting things in place. It does not, things do not happen overnight.
Going to swing it out into the flat on the pass caught by the tight end who's really been involved in the passing game, and Dylan Hargis, the junior out of Eastlake North High School. That'll be his 7th reception of the afternoon. Wolverines 508 yards of total offense on 62 plays. Currently 251 on 53 for the Terriers. Single back with receivers to each side. Tejada takes the snap. He will give it to the tailback across the 30, cuts back 35, and dives down near the 38-yard line for Alex Bars, the sophomore running back.
Carr and Gornitz on the tackle for Grove City. Looks like Jace Herrick is bumped down to playing linebacker now with Fellows and Equi at safety. Johnny Ruggles is in as the slot corner.
Tejada keeps the football, trying to get to the outside. He'll turn the corner and get down near the 45-yard line. That's a pickup of close to 7 on first down. It'll be second down and 3 with 3:35 to play here in the fourth quarter.
Nice decision by Tejada. Getting outside, wasn't anything there, and just tucked it and ran.
Second down and 3. Trips to the right side, one receiver to the left side. Alex Bars remains the tailback. Slot receiver comes in motion, settles into the backfield. Bars gets the handoff, try to turn upfield, and is able to fight back to the 45-yard line for no gain on the play. He was hit a couple times in the backfield, was able to drive forward to get back to the line of scrimmage and bring up now a 3rd down and 3.
Brock Batchy, another Richland guy. He and Sam Penna out of the that Richland High School down by Johnstown. On the tackle, Batchy along with Jace Herrick. Richland, for being a small school, has put a lot of guys into college football. Kellen Stahl, the outstanding W&J quarterback, he's a Richland grad. Looks like everybody at the PAC has a Richland guy or two. Especially for such a small school to have such a concentration of really good football players contributing at the collegiate level.
Tejada to throw it. Pass is going to be complete, spinning off of a tackle and able to stay alive and in bounds and down to about the 47-yard line.
Devon Lewis, another catch, his 7th of the afternoon. The Grove City 47, give him 8 more. He's well over 100 yards today, 122, including a touchdown.
And that will bring us to the 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes to play, 4th quarter. Grove City 63, Hiram 14 on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Ken Frenchak here from the Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Fall. Leaves are changing. Why not get a jump start on the season and get the oil changed in your vehicle? We have your grade of Valvoline oil regardless of your gas or diesel engine. We stock most air filters and windshield wiper blades. So don't forget, we offer 2 automatic car washes along with 2 self-serve bays. Stop by to have your car run and look great. You can go anywhere for an oil change, but you come to us for the experience.
Valvoline Express Care and Car Wash of Grove City. Drive in, drive out, it's that easy.
Off the 2-minute timeout. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Terriers from the Grove City 14-yard line. Tejada takes the snap. He'll take a 3-step drop, step up in the pocket, pressured from behind, flips that one downfield, and the receiver was spun down while the ball was in the air, and that's going to be a pass interference penalty on the Wolverines secondary.
Stephen Fellows, the freshman safety, got twisted around a little bit and ended up tackling the receiver, prevented a big gain. It'll be 15 yards and a 1st down on the penalty, but Fellows did a nice job of not compounding one mistake with another. Yeah, you don't like the penalty, but it's only 15 yards. And again, it's kind of what would be a good teaching point for this week and then the offseason as well for the freshman safety. Lewis is not an easy guy to cover. The Wolverines have been dealing with him all day.
Yeah, 7 for 122 and a touchdown for Lewis this afternoon. Tejada takes the snap, and it was a false start penalty as part of the line decided to go and the other part decided they didn't want to, and that penalty is going to back up the Terriers 5 yards and put them behind the chains at 1st and 15.
13th flag today, 87 yards for Hiram.
$150 to play here in the 4th quarter. Terriers looking to the sideline for the play call. Split 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right side. Tejada hands it off on a 1st down, and that's Alex Bars on the carry for a couple. It brings up now a 2nd and about 13 to go.
Batchy making another tackle. Junior linebacker. Mason Crayer in at defensive end for the Wolverines. Wearing number 69 out there, the junior from Washington, PA. He's been on the 2 deep some this year.
Tejada to throw on second down and 14, and that pass sails out of bounds and incomplete. And we've seen Tejada be able to, he's versatile the way he throws the football with touch, with accuracy, and when he really needs to, could step into a throw and rip it.
Certainly, he's been impressive today, to say the least. Throwing for 280 yards, 20 of 37, and you look at the numbers coming in, and then you see him in person. You can see how he's thrown for. Came in at 2,600 yards on the season. Now over 2,900 yards here in 2025 in 9 games. Did not play last week over at Westminster.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Tejada to throw, tries to set up the screen, and it found no one at the 35-yard line as the Wolverines were in the backfield at the snap, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
That was Oliver Smith coming through, just bulling his way into the backfield and forcing the errant pass.
So 4th and 14, and Tejada and the offense will stay out on the field. Three receivers left, 1 to the right. He'll drop to throw, deep drop, being pressured, throws on the run, and the pass goes through the receiver's hands. Would have been short of the conversion, and the Wolverines will take over on downs.
Again, Smith with good pressure, did the old dip and rip move coming from outside linebacker, and Wolverines will get it back, and the Wolverines are going to finish the regular season 5-0 on the road, 8-2 overall, winners of 7 straight. And they'll have a postseason opportunity of some sort next week, whether it be in Canton or in the NCAA playoffs. And Broderick Shire in at quarterback for the Wolverines now. Zach Nagel in at receiver. Anthony Gross is in at fullback for Grove City. Christian Royer's the running back.
Shire's going to hand off the ball to Royer on a 1st down, and Royer across the 40 and down to the 41-yard line. And we're down to 46 seconds to play here in the 4th quarter. And it'll be Nash Rieselman now in there to take a snap, the junior. Out of North Tonawanda, New York. Play clock and game clock just about even. Rieselman will take the snap, give it again to Royer. And Royer's going to be down across the 45, down to the 46-yard line. And the final seconds will come off the clock here this afternoon. And the Grove City College Wolverines are a winner, 63-14. With the win, the Wolverines are now 8-2 and 7-1 in the PAC. The Terriers finished the season at 3-7 and 2-6 in the PAC in an afternoon where a lot of young Wolverines got a chance to see the field today.
Yes, certainly really a great season finale. Wolverines getting the big lead at halftime. A lot of the young guys getting to play in the second half. It's a very exciting day. A lot to be excited for the future. You see what some of these young guys can do. But right now, about 2025, 7 straight wins to close the regular season. There will be an 11th game for sure next week. We'll figure all that out over the weekend. But an impressive performance today for the Wolverines.
Wolverines win it 63-14. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll look at the final numbers in this one on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Time to start the postgame show here on the Wolverines Sports Network. A Wolverine winner this afternoon is 63-14. Final numbers team-wise: Grove City 64 plays, 518 yards of total offense, 62 for 280 for the Terriers. As Grove City, an impressive 4 of 7 on third down, while holding the Terriers to just 3 of 14 on third down conversions. Wolverines and Terriers both 1 of 2 converting third downs. Time of possession just barely favoring the Terriers, 30-54 to 29-01. Mike Holloman played the second half, the majority of the second half, 9 of 16, 107 yards through the air and 1 touchdown. Ethan Wiley was 10 of 14 in the first half for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Chase Rankin led all of the ball carriers with 9 carries for 91 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Shepard Miller, 7 carries, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ian Demiri, 8 carries for 45 yards. Sullivan, the leading receiver, had 4 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown. Sam Penna, 3 for 38 and a touchdown. Cameron Epps had 2 catches for 45 yards and his first touchdown of his freshman season. And all of those numbers add up to a big win for Grove City here this afternoon as they win it 63-14. And now we'll look towards the postseason as that game will be coming up next week at a site to be determined. So the Wolverines with a big win here this afternoon. And when you look at all of those numbers, and then you take a look a little even further at some of the leading tacklers this afternoon, 9 total tackles for Jack Jolly. Brubaker finishing with 5. Brock Belmont got in there on 5 stops. Mike Ecke with 4. And a big win this afternoon for Grove City. We're going to take one final timeout. We'll come back and wrap things up on the Wolverines Sports Network.
Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, tail-wagging, backyard-hanging, and, of course, companionship.
And what breed would you say Satchmo is?
I'd have to go with maybe a lavish terrier-hound chihuahua-looking kind of mix.
Tremendous dog.
I'd also like to point out Satchmo's coloring, a white, gray, brown, black brindle, simply marvelous.
You know, it's such a treat to watch a dog like this.
Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive. And now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance, so common with this group.
And finally, the loving face lick.
It's great how he just gets in there and, well, licks.
Fantastic. But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This is why you work so hard to pay the mortgage. Because home is more than 4 walls and a roof. It's that porch swing on a summer night. It's pajamas with feet and everybody over for Sunday dinner. And that old stuffed chair in the living room you just can't get rid of. This is why you work a second job. This is why you learned to fix things yourself, so you could save on repairs. Because home is your place, your memories, your family sleeping in their own beds at night. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. And now even more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE today. That's 888-995-HOPE. Or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov.
Good night, Mama.
This is why. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Wolverines wrap up the regular season this afternoon here at Hiram with the big 63-14 win on a day where a lot of Wolverines got a chance to see the field and a participation report that might be the biggest of the regular season so far.
Yeah, a lot of guys getting a chance to not only play but also contribute, making some plays. Just a fun day all around. And guys who've been putting in the work since August now here getting out on the field, playing some significant snaps today. That'll bode well for them going forward as well. Just improving the depth, developing. You get guys. There'll be graduation losses certainly, but then the next guys be ready to go. You think about some of the guys that are starting now. They were in that similar situation a year ago, 2 years ago, where they were playing, getting to play, and then when it was their turn to be the guy, they've stepped forward and have done a great job, and we saw that again today.
And we definitely we saw a lot of action, and now the question, we will wait to find out where the next game for the Wolverines, where and when it will be, with the NCAA selection show being at 5 o'clock online on a Sunday. And then once that happens, everything else will kind of begin to play itself out for the Open Doors Bowl or AC Bowls, as the postseason bids will go out after the selection show on Sunday at 5 o'clock. But as you said, kind of throughout the game, we know there will be an 11th game again this year for the Wolverines.
Exactly, and the NPI standings and stuff are being updated throughout the day, and kind of it's the analogy I give is it's kind of like election night with the Electoral College. One candidate needs this state. If they don't get that, they need another one. That's kind of the Wolverines are. If one result doesn't go their way, they need some other things to happen. And we will see. We'll see how things shake out. Again, we'll have a pretty good idea later tonight as to what the Wolverines will be doing next week, whether it's the Open Doors Bowl or an NCAA playoff game. That'll be. Again, we'll know more tonight. No matter what, it's been a great regular season, winning 7 in a row, 5-0 on the road, 8-2. And the Wolverines have done everything they could do to put themselves in the best possible position. I think that's all you can ask. A team that, again, at the beginning of the year, the young guys on offense, the growth and so forth. Now here we are on November the 15th. This team has come a long way from the first day of camp about 3 months ago. Had the big win at Cortland. Of course, Cortland falling today to Ithaca, 26-21, a game that certainly hurts the Wolverines' playoff hopes. Doesn't squash them, but it hurts them. But you think about bookending the season with 2 great road wins. That one, and here today at Hiram, and everything in between. Really think about just one bad night against W&J. And you give credit to W&J. W&J's been playing outstanding football. And I know this. Whoever draws W&J in the first round of the playoffs next week better pack a lunch. And they're not going to be thrilled about having that team, because the W&J team that played the first 2 weeks is a far different team than we saw in week 4 after the open date and since then. Hey, we'll see what the Wolverines do. But it's been a great regular season, and it's been a lot of fun to be on this 10-game journey with you once again this year in the regular season, Mark.
Yeah, it has definitely been a lot of fun, as it is every season. A lot of people to thank here tonight at Hiram as well.
We want to thank John Alphys and Karen Schwartzentruber from the Sports Info Office. Thanks to them for their help and hospitality. They have a great staff who was very accommodating and helpful as well. Thanks to all of them. Thanks to Grove City Athletic Director Todd Gibson for all of his support, everything that we're doing. And thanks to Tyler Grupak, our assistant SID, who's handling things back at the ranch today with Senior Day swimming. And also thanks to Chris Birch, who's been our color man throughout the season. And I don't know, maybe we'll depending on what happens next week, maybe we'll spring Chris out of mothballs or something too to go down to Canton if he's available. But
also want to wish best of luck to the volleyball team tonight.
Absolutely. Grove City volleyball team playing at Hiram tonight, 7 o'clock. PAC Sports Network will have the coverage of that. Wolverines and Terriers. I'd take a Grove City sweep over Hiram in terms of wins. It'll be tough, certainly. The Hiram #1 seed out of the North. Grove City #4 out of the North. But they've played twice this year. Hiram 1-4 here, 1-5 sets at Grove City. You know what I think, Mark? Third time's a charm.
Sounds good. That is going to do it for us here this afternoon from the home of the Hiram Terriers. For Ryan Briggs, my name is Mark Means. It's a Wolverine winner this afternoon, a 63-14 right here on the home of the Wolverines Sports Network.
The Wolverines Sports Network. We'll talk to you next time on the home of the Wolverines.